just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket, but somehow tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you ready for some football? Whether you yell War Eagle or Roll Tide, if you're fourth and goal, then it's time you call in a special team, Alabama Home Mortgage. I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage, where we make mortgages easy. With a starting lineup like ours, you can rest assured that you are dealing with the MVPs of the mortgage industry here at Alabama Home Mortgage. Do you feel like you're being blocked on every play? Take a time out and make the call that will change it all. Call Alabama Home Mortgage at 567-4223, or you can visit our website, myalabamahomemortgage.com. Together, we can create the playbook that will lead to your financial victory. Don't let the clock run out. Call Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. 567-4223. Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. War Eagle, Roll Tide. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels. I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. New week, new Monday. In the studio with me, we have the one, the only Troy Carrico. How you doing today, sir?
I'm outstanding. How was your weekend?
I'm good. I read a lot, watched Auburn lose yet
of course.
How about yours?
It was outstanding. Watched Ohio State win. I wrote some as well.
Nice.
And been working behind the scenes for our special guest that we've got today, trying to get that all ironed out.
Let's remind folks about that special guest at 2:00.
Yeah, at 2:00, we're going to have Lieutenant Colonel Bull Gerfen, who is the CEO of United American Patriots up in Northern Virginia, and his good brother at arms and devil dog, a hero that should be in the pantheon of Marine Corps legacy and heroes. His name is Major James Capers, and the story you're about to hear today is so unreal, Joey, that Hollywood wishes they could write something like it on that par. So a very special guy. He's got a silver star now. We're working to get him an upgrade. He's still alive, Joey. It's so important.
And we're going for the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Yeah, the CMOH. That's right. Yeah, he's earned it. And the thing is this, Joey, it's so important to honor our heroes if they're still alive rather than when they're dead.
Hear, hear.
And so that's what we're working on.
Hear, hear. Yeah, and there's a lot in the news today, and we should probably take some of Trump and Netanyahu live.
Yeah.
Bibi Netanyahu at the White House. As Trump released, what, a 21-point ceasefire plan?
Yeah, 21 points, I saw.
And as Netanyahu was meeting him, reporters were shouting questions, right where they meet, right outside, they get out of the vehicle. And Trump's like, yes, I'm very confident. Everybody knows the plan, the 21 points of the plan. So we'll have to touch on that.
I think it'd be worthwhile.
J.D. Vance says U.S. considering Tomahawk missiles for Ukraine.
Yes.
So
that was in the request. There was a $90 billion budget approval earmarked for all weapons. And someone saying from inside the the Secretary of War's office that they're very much considering.
As Ukraine launches a new army branch to intercept drones, and it looks like Zelensky wants even more U.S. direct involvement in the war. I don't think he's going to get it. He's gotten enough of it because they said, yeah, you can use these long-range weapons. They're undisclosed. They said there are certain things that we won't. You need to check with us first.
Yeah, probably not going to let him hit the Kremlin.
Yeah, like if you hit the Kremlin with a Tomahawk cruise missile, like, and see, it's the concern I've had since day one.
Right.
The more the Ukrainians win, the more everybody might lose.
Well, but you know what's funny is, Joey, if Russia could hit the parliament or the Congress of Ukraine, they would have, and they will be able to with Tomahawks
eventually. Yeah. And China also, there's more and more of a military buildup around Taiwan. They've been doing this slowly, been like a python, just slowly, patiently, and that continues.
Yes.
We also have a little more on that awful Michigan church shooting, more than a shooting too, because I believe they rammed the church, set it on fire. And from the post-millennial, the death toll rises to 4. And the suspect, quote unquote, according to the FBI, hated Mormons.
His mother, I guess he lived with his mother apparently, and she was a Mormon, so he was going to church there occasionally, but I guess he'd had enough. And he's a Iraq vet too.
An FBI lab report and contradictory witness statement inject fresh mystery into unsolved January 6 pipe bomb case. The pipe bomb outside the DNC?
The Unabomber's cousin.
And then Trump saying, I would imagine that DOJ is currently investigating Christopher Wray. Okay. A lot of people going, And John Brennan, in particular, acting really, really nervous. Saying, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything wrong.
I just worked there.
Yeah, I just did the normal spy craft like that we are. Anyway, Pete Hegseth deploys 200 members of Oregon National Guard to Portland as Antifa was surrounding federal buildings there. Portland sues the Trump administration over that National Guard deployment. Republicans are urging Democrats to agree to a short-term bill to avoid a shutdown. We're back to the shutdown politics. So no,
did
don't
you see
do
the
it.
article that came out in Axios? I think it was over the weekend about George Soros's connection to the Indivisible, I think is the name of the group here, that they're lobbying millions of dollars to these Democrats to shut the government down.
Oh, sure. So. But apparently the head of OMB, Russ Vought, he has a shutdown surprise. Republicans could use shutdown to dramatically reshape government permanently. So, like, if you thought, like me, that Doge was put on a leash, which was very frustrating to see.
It was a dog and pony show, so to speak.
But what if, because it's a shutdown, while you blame Democrats for the shutdown, you actually cut government in the ways a true conservative or even, God forbid, a libertarian might like? I would like to see that.
I believe you can.
Trump slapped 100% tariffs on foreign movies. So good luck with that.
Your Sundance Festival.
I'm not a connoisseur of foreign films.
Independent foreign films.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of foreign films I've seen. Like some maybe that I just watch because they're good movies, but I don't go in and want to read subtitles.
Well, there was one I watched that was called The Sound of Water. And it was about this reptilian. Do you remember? It was a reptilian creature in a bathtub, and
Guillermo del Toro.
It was just straight. That was just a French movie that I didn't like. So.
And then The Lancet, which is a top medical journal, scientific journal, says microplastic damage is being caused by recycling. Well, damn.
I thought that. Wait a minute. What about the greenhouse effect?
Eric Adams has also dropped out of the New York City mayoral race. That only affected Mondami's my little communist lead by what, like 4 points?
Yeah.
So what's the guy the guardian angel guy? Seawall or
Seawall? I think his name's Seawall. Yeah.
Like he's still in it.
He is, but I
people are calling for him to drop out, so it can just be Cuomo up against Mondami.
That's where it's probably going to head.
Also, crazy story of the Des Moines school superintendent who was actually an illegal alien from Guyana.
Guyana of Jim Jones fame. Drink the grape Kool-Aid.
He was also, by the way, registered to vote in Maryland.
Yeah, I know. And he was also carrying a weapon illegally in both states and had a hunting rifle violation too.
And he was hired as superintendent by Michelle Obama's former top aide.
Of course. And he
it's
came
just
highly
such a small
recommended.
world.
He came highly recommended.
Small world. And then also have a story of an Israeli mafia hitman who doubled as a pop star.
Oh, man.
It's one of these weird human interest stories where you're like, well, I killed for the mob, but all I ever really wanted to do was sing.
I feel like Ben Stiller should roll cameo him, and he should cover him.
But there's a long line of failed artists that ended up becoming, murderers.
Well, it's a great cover.
Yeah, and they
I had a concert. I didn't do that.
They consider their failures not a failures in themselves, but
Maybe
of the
art.
world.
It's just it's a performance art.
And then when you go into the local stuff, only got 3 headlines here. First, it was announced last week. Good to mention. I don't know how many direct jobs it'll provide, but Meta is going to significantly expand their data center here in Montgomery.
I heard that.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
F. Charlie Kirk.
Okay.
BLM activist Carlos Chavez Jr. sends threatening email to 1819 News reporter.
Ooh.
That reporter in particular was the woman who used to host these hours for a little while, April Marie Fogel.
I know.
Yeah. And then the other story there at 1819news.com is meet Rahim Farr, or Rahim, the anti-Charlie Kirk University of Alabama professor conducting doctoral research on anti-racist, queer-affirming psychoanalytical frameworks. Again, he's doing his doctoral research on, quote, anti-racist, queer-affirming psychoanalytical frameworks.
I need to take a Rorschach test after that.
I'm more an anti-racist, like queer-affirming, like psychoanalytical, like drywall contractor. I don't really do the framing.
That's right.
I don't really do the bricks and sticks, but I'll put on those finishing touches for your anti-racist, queer-affirming psychoanalytics.
You'll smooth it. You'll do
right. Yeah, I'll do all that. So plenty to get to today. Way too much to get to today. But I want to begin with, in detail, with what I wrote yesterday.
Yes.
And I'll admit that over the weekend, like all I wanted to do was just sit there and read the good book. Just because there's so many
you've been stuck on you. Listen, you've got this great study guide now.
And I pulled myself away from it to go and watch Auburn.
Okay.
And that was a mistake.
Was that time well spent?
Right. I need to repent for that.
You should.
I don't know who needs to repent over at Auburn. So
how many Hail Marys and how many Novenas for that?
My goodness, man. It's just frustrating to watch them. But I got thinking about, other people, and when it's done in good faith, fine. I think others were doing it as a gotcha. Okay. But after Charlie Kirk's assassination, what I believe and many others believe is Charlie Kirk's martyrdom.
Yep.
Because you can quibble with that, as
I agree with you.
We all might quibble with big pronouncements like that, but I genuinely believe it personally. You heard folks saying, but what about these kids? And you do have to wonder, what about the kids at that Catholic church that are shot up? What about the 4 who have died at the Church of Latter-day Saints there in Michigan? And you can go story after story. And what about all the kids, sons, lost souls, killing each other on the streets of Montgomery? I mean, and you can go down the line that not everybody's who ends up dead, who ends up killed, who ends up suffering injustice gets their name in the headlines because we don't know them.
It's true.
But here I begin with, is it Augustine or Augustine? Saint Augustine?
I call him Saint Augustine, but.
And it's the tail end of a sermon I will circle back to, but quoting Augustine, they were the church's first blossoms, matured by the frost of persecution during the cold winter of unbelief. We went over this a little bit last week.
This is great. I look forward to hearing
the first Christian martyrs, though their names or exact numbers remain unknown, are a visceral testament to the interplay of God's justice, mercy, and grace. Justice, mercy, and grace. I pray we hear these not as mere abstractions, but as embodied expressions of the word made flesh. Charlie Kirk's martyrdom, still too fresh, should particularly remind us of the flesh and blood consequences of speaking courageously in a fallen world. Justice isn't just a word when a beloved young man has been murdered in cold blood. Mercy isn't merely an idea when a murderer faces the prospect of punishment he deserves. Grace isn't to be taken for granted when a widow forgives her husband's murderer. Justice, mercy, grace. Pray they are incarnate in our hearts beyond the wisp of words we say as their name. Thankfully, many Christian evangelists have already gotten to the heart of the matter, describing the triune interplay in the following way. Justice is getting what you deserve, punishment. Mercy is not getting what you deserve, no punishment. Grace is getting what you don't deserve, salvation. Justice alone grants no pardon. Mercy alone abides no punishment. Justice and mercy in dissonant tension together cannot fully contend with the problem of evil. Only God can reconcile justice and mercy through his divine grace, his eternal harmony expressed in perfect pitch by Christ's innocent suffering on the cross. By suffering the ultimate evil at the hands of men, Christ embodies the ultimate grace God offers to men. Yet if grace can be defined as getting what you don't deserve, could not evil also be named in the same way? Is not Christ's torture and crucifixion considered the ultimate evil because above all others, he did not deserve it? Are not the gravest evils those visited upon the innocent who do not deserve their fate? Are not the worst sins those which seek to prey upon the vulnerable and defenseless? Are not the greatest crimes imaginable carried out against children? This brings us back to the very first Christian martyrs. We still do not know their names nor their exact number. We only know of them from the Gospel of Matthew. Then Herod, when he saw what he had been tricked by the wise men, became furious, and he sent and killed all the male children in Bethlehem and in all that region who were 2 years old or under, according to the time he had ascertained from the wise men. Then was fulfilled what was spoken by the prophet Jeremiah. A voice was heard in Ramah, weeping and loud lamentation. Rachel weeping for her children. She refused to be comforted because they are no more. The church, and that's, by the way, that's the Roman Catholic, but also Eastern Orthodox, Lutherans, Anglicans, a lot of...
It's the body of Christ. Yeah.
The church, the body of Christ, has long considered these children from Bethlehem the first martyrs for Christ. Since we do not know their names, they are called the Holy Innocents. Having suffered a grave evil innocently at the hands of the tyrant Herod's fury, their undeserved torment cries out for God's undeserved grace. Their martyrdom, mercilessly and unjustly slaughtered as babes on the mere suspicion of being Christ the King, fulfills prophecy and prefigures the coming of Christ's own innocent suffering on the cross. May all children denied justice and mercy in this world, stripped of their innocence in life by unspeakable evils, find both justice and mercy in harmony with his saving grace in the world to come. From St. Augustine's sermon on the Holy Innocents. The precious death of any martyr deserves high praise because of his heroic confession. The death of these children is precious in the sight of God because of the beatitude they gain so quickly. For already at the beginning of their lives they pass on. The end of the present life is for them the beginning of glory. These then, whom Herod cruelly tore as sucklings from their mother's bosom, are justly hailed as infant martyr flowers. They were the church's first blossoms, matured by the frost of persecution during the cold winter of unbelief. And, you know, for all the incredible stories we have of martyrs, I think there is something fitting to those that we don't even know their names being the first.
I think it's very fitting. I think it's that's humanity.
And we see how this is perpetuated to this day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like how many stories, just local stories, like the sting in Wetumpka.
It's ridiculous. It's a sick
or the
perversion.
other guy who was using AI to create child porn, or the dungeon found.
The dungeon master, yeah.
And that's just in this backyard.
That's terrible.
When you hear about 300,000 children unaccounted for that were brought into the country, I don't immediately assume like the vast majority have had something awful happen to them. God forbid. But 1% of that is still a lot of children suffering horror.
If just 1 to 5% of that is really what we think it probably is, and it's very, very disturbing. And suffer the little children unto me, but people
and
are
then,
animals.
of course, do not forget those who are not even allowed to be born.
Yeah, I don't. It's a whole different.
Snuffed out. You can see why this feast day is, at least in the Catholic tradition, celebrated on the 28th in Christmastide to remind not only the promise celebrating Christmas, but of the consequences. The world was already trying to lash out even after the birth of Christ.
When you shared with me, or Eddie and myself were here, and you said, hey, you were talking about martyrs, and you said, well, you know who the first martyrs were because you were going through your study book. You probably maybe knew already. I thought it was going to be one of the, obviously, the disciples.
I didn't know.
But no, okay. But I was surprised when you said, no, it was the children that Herod killed. And I thought that's a very fitting start for faith, right?
Right. And you can get into all the scholarly stuff, but I'm gonna defer to tradition in this regard.
You're good at that.
I'm definitely gonna defer to tradition in this regard. Okay. But there's, I don't know, there's something deeply wrong in the world, and maybe it's always been that way, but for all the comforts, like the creature comforts we have,
sure,
there's something, some itch that ain't being scratched for folks.
I think there's Joey, I think there's a lot of people, you've said this, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, about people say they're a brother in Christ or they're a follower of Christ. And what does that really mean to them? And, the thing is this, Joey, I think that your spirituality is a very personal thing. And you are the church. You are the church. Your body is the church. You have a ministry every day. Right now, you've got a ministry over the airwaves. And my point is this to you. The people that I used to put in high regard throughout my career, and I worked with some fine people, but some of them I realized were human and they failed. And their faith was not as it appeared to me on the outside. And so I think with all the creature comforts and all the distractions, it's easy to lose your true spiritual grounding.
Well, and also it's easy to talk. I do it for a living. It's very easy to say things. And one thing I always come back to is it's very difficult to embody them and live them. And the beauty of it, though, when you look at, say, scripture, is how many languages, how many different types of words has it gone through, yet the same core.
What does love mean? Well, it depends.
The same message is there. And so there is a mystery at the bottom of these things. And I often hesitate to give the usual acclamations and confessions and declarations because I feel like it's easy, that it's much more difficult to put this into action. And that is something I should be personally striving to do because I've been pretty crappy at it.
I don't know about that. Lately, you've been batting pretty well. You're doing this. You're really in depth on this study guide. It looks like it's going to be an incredible spiritual awakening for you.
Well, how about this? Let's hit a break. And I mean, who knows? I could crash and burn at any moment, right? Just get me a little drunk.
I've only seen you. Well, no,
I wasn't that drunk.
You weren't drunk at all. You were very well. But we had some great conversations. You loosened up a little.
I was gently stewed.
I was doing the honeypot on you, but in reverse.
No,
don't let Eddie hear that. For God's sake, we'll never let that down.
Please don't.
Look at that bottle. Isn't it sexy?
Oh God. Anyway,
how was Eddie's birthday? Have you heard?
Oh, it was good. I called him this morning.
Okay, did you? Okay.
Yeah,
he had a good birthday?
He had a pretty good one. Got to spend time with the grandkids and whatnot. Cool. So I'm happy for him in that regard. Yeah. He might stop by today, but Eddie, you know how it is. Actually, I think he might have taken Don Rickles' advice eventually.
You get a horse and live in the mountains someplace and don't bother anybody.
I could see him doing that.
Yeah, I think Eddie could be a real Jeremiah Johnson. Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and they're at Pest Pro Ashley and that great team, ready to help you with any and all of your pest control needs. And as the seasons start changing, it's time to double down on your pest control.
Bro, let me tell you what happened last night at my house. We have a log lodge home, which wasps are always building stuff on and all this. Well, some yellow jackets got into our bedroom and I got hit right in the groin area. Oh, listen, it was real close. It was real close. And listen, it was terrible. So I think I'm going to have to give Ashley and him a call. They're going to have to come out and take a look here because they ate Robin up. They hit her like 4 times. It's just.
As you were describing that, I wanted to go to the meme. Ooh, brother. Ooh, no, we're there. Oh, wow.
Let's get the venom out.
You've got to call up Pest Pro Services. And the great thing with Pest Pro is they do a monthly subscription that's cheap. You just build it as part of your normal, say, monthly overhead. You can control costs that way over the year. Yeah. And so as we do head into the fall season, get in touch with Pest Pro Services. Make sure your pest protection is jam up and jelly tight, as the song says. You can always check them out at ppsriverregion.com, learn more there, or just search for Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces, or just call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Troy Those fellas on the radio sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. What is a smart way to buy a house in today's market? Now is a good time to buy since we now have a more balanced market than we've had in years. Here are the steps. First step, get pre-qualified with an experienced local lender. It costs you nothing to find out firsthand whether you can qualify for a home and how much that home loan will cost. Second step, hire a local realtor with lots of experience that can guide you, advise you, and be your advocate. We call those buyer agents. Third step, decide what your wants and needs have to be. Bedrooms, baths, floor plan, location, and school zones. Fourth, ask your realtor to line up homes that fit your price category and your location needs. Fifth, start actually looking inside these homes and see what is available and the cost of each property. For all of this information and step-by-step approach, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Headlines for the week ahead. A dry week, and we desperately need some rain, and not too terrible on the humidity. I mean, not great, but okay. Total sunshine today with a high around 87. Fairly comfortable tonight with mostly clear skies, low in the mid-60s. More sun, 88 tomorrow. Then a little cooler by midweek. Low 80s on Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe even upper 50s on Thursday night. But unfortunately, dry for the week ahead, and we are slipping deeper and deeper into a drought. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray to Publix.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
All right, you mentioned the word honeypot. Honeypot. So I blame you for immediately jumping into this.
I saw that in your little prep. So yeah.
Yeah. Who seated the idea to whom is the question. So this is a story.
Yes.
Fox put it together, I think.
Okay.
On the revelation that then FBI Director James Comey.
Yes.
Ordered a secret honeypot operation using 2 female undercover agents.
Oh, okay.
Launched in 2015 to infiltrate President Trump's first campaign.
Huh.
So I kind of want to listen in on this,
Sure.
just get the take of what was this honeypot operation and how do I get one sent my way or something like that. Or how did was it successful?
Infiltrate President Trump's first campaign by using 2 undercover agents in a so-called honeypot operation.
Incredible.
Todd Pyro joins us with details. Todd.
This is big. Under the leadership of new FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino, the Bureau has reportedly launched an investigation into the agency's plan to infiltrate President Trump's first campaign using 2 female undercover agents. The Washington Times reporting that the program was launched in 2015 by then FBI Director James Comey.
Wow.
The honeypot scheme was actually kept off the books. And according to a whistleblower, Comey's investigation was separate from Crossfire Hurricane. You, of course, know that as the FBI's operation that looked into allegations Trump's campaign colluded with Russia. A whistleblower disclosure says, quote, the case had no predicated foundation. So Comey personally directed the investigation without creating an official case file in Sentinel or any other FBI system. The FBI has multiple methods of protecting highly sensitive investigations, so Comey did not have a legitimate reason not to officially create an official investigation file or have a file number. FBI leaders are reportedly looking for those once undercover agents who are said to have infiltrated the Trump campaign at high levels. Back over to you.
This story is insane. Thank you.
Wait, I want photos of the agents.
I know, well, listen, they're agents. They can't
It's
be
the
that
whole
hot.
reason
They can't
you
be
got
that
my
hot.
attention with honeypot.
They can't be that hot. They're
Well, they
agents.
must be very charming then.
They got pretty face and good personality.
Well, let's see if
It's like your friend is goes, hey, we got a girl we went to.
like let's no, but because I never watch Fox and Friends. I want to see.
I don't either.
Can we? Because there's what about a minute left in
Yeah,
this.
let's see. Let's watch
I want to see though if in particular Brian Kilmeade said something really stupid.
Thank you so much, Todd. The whistleblower said that Comey personally directed it and using 2 female undercover agents as honeypots. They say it usually refers to an undercover operative who feigns sexual or romantic interest to obtain information on a target. So were these honeypots targeting Donald Trump? Were they targeting people on his team? Were they women that we were seeing on air all the time traveling with him?
If this is true, he's a dirty cop. And this is the same thing that is alleged that they did the same thing to Martin Luther King Jr. as well and recorded him to use as leverage. So the FBI, which was supposed to have reformed if this report is true, apparently never reformed at all.
Yeah, J. Edgar Hoover moved. James Comey always said he was above it all. And we know, soon we're going to find out if that indeed was he above it all. Was he just tall or was he just, it was actually.
Good job, Kilmeade. Good job.
I love it.
They should have just let Lawrence just keep talking.
Yeah, let him keep talking. He was doing fine.
Shut up, Brian.
Right.
Anyway, I just wanted to tune in there, but I'm not surprised. Are we surprised at all James
Not at
Comey
all.
would do something like that?
Plausible deniability.
No.
What's the thing? They don't have to have a file number. What do you mean you don't have to?
Right.
I mean,
and we do seem to have this schizophrenic culture because there's been so many like dramatic movies and TV shows and books, certainly books,
yeah.
fiction and nonfiction both,
Sure.
about all the, say, craft of spying and federal law enforcement.
Yeah.
And like, but as soon as it gets to the official like sources of those agencies, we don't do any of that stuff. We don't do any of that. What are you talking about?
So at CIA headquarters, they have this incredible museum. You have to obviously be cleared to go through, but it's, I think I told you, they got like remote control catfish with a periscope thing, and a little.
That's cool.
No, it's really, the trade craft is bad. It's really cool. It's really cool. But I mean, but it's glamorized. And what I'm saying is, look, I'm telling you right now that most of your good intelligence comes from a vetted good relationship that just developed through incentives, giving them things, building trust and faith. It's just hard work is how you get the good intel, but they make it look like, you send a couple co-eds in and I'll tell you whatever you want.
Right. There you go. There you go.
Who do you think they were targeting?
So it's
Who do
really
you think
just
they were
developing.
Chief of staff.
Like if
maybe
you had to
for
see
his-
the people around
it was his
Trump.
campaign.
Because I don't think it would be Trump. I
No,
think
it
Trump
wasn't
would
Trump.
sniff
It
that
wasn't
out pretty
Trump.
quick.
It wasn't Trump. I wonder who it would have been.
Maybe it was Lewandowski.
It's possible. It's
Yeah,
possible.
but he was already warm for Christy Noem's.
That's what I was saying.
So.
He's already been committed.
So good for Corey in that regard. Would it be one of the sons, Eric
Maybe.
or Don?
I think
Jr.?
it might have been Don Jr. or
Maybe they went
something
after
like
Barron.
Oh gosh,
That's dirty.
That would be
going
wrong.
after a young man. Hormones surging through him. He's feeling things like
At
never
Columbia
before.
University.
It's in the prime of his life. Well, actually, the prime's a little later than 18 or 19 years old.
Gosh, he ain't got a clue yet.
Yeah, he's figuring it out. Though. Yeah, no, I'd
just wonder who
imagine
would
it
have
was, to your point, it was more like go and see who's receptive.
That's what I think it was. I think it was, look, let's infiltrate their campaign, find out what's going on, and gain some trust of some heavy hitters. But
yeah, just see who's receptive and
Does
then
it-
follow the lead.
doesn't that sound like Watergate or something like that to you too? I mean, it's very similar. You're spying on an opponent.
Oh, goodness gracious. So good for James Comey and team. They're being found out.
They're headed down the right path.
They're definitely being found out. And speaking of the FBI, you now have Trump saying, I would imagine that DOJ is currently investigating Christopher Wray.
Yes, I saw that.
So the successor to Comey, Chris Wray, who Trump picked, and I think made a mistake in that pick.
Yeah,
but
he made a lot.
Trump said in an exclusive interview with NBC News on Sunday that he accused former FBI Director Christopher Wray of quote unquote inappropriate behavior during his tenure and said he would think the Justice Department is investigating.
Okay.
Trump accused him of wrongdoing in the interview, saying Wray, who resigned at the end of the Biden administration, did a terrible job, and we just found out about it. I think it's very inappropriate what he did, and I think a lot of his service was very inappropriate. But we haven't gone beyond that. Don't forget, we just found out about all these FBI agents being there. And of course, this refers to the 274 FBI agents in the crowd prior to and during January 6th. Trump has repeated that, that of course, they suspected this. It's also now been essentially revealed. But though Kash Patel said they were sent, more of them were sent after as crowd control, which is a really weird use of plainclothes FBI.
Yeah, very weird
assets.
I don't think, in fact, I think not
and
weird.
As we covered,
not legal.
Yeah, and as we covered last week, you had a lot of those very same agents going, "What the hell are we doing out here?"
Yeah,
you put us in a dangerous situation.
That's the scary part. Is some of them they did object to the principle, but they were really concerned about their safety and well-being.
Yeah. So
who do we coordinate with? No, we don't know. You just go out there.
So you add, Trump saying that Christopher Wray might be under investigation. Then you add more intrigue to it. This is from John Solomon's Just the News.
Okay.
The unsolved case of 2 pipe bombs planted at the major political party's headquarters, one at the DNC and one at the RNC in Washington, D.C. before the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot, is facing new mystery after FBI Director Kash Patel transmitted to Congress the lab analysis and interviews with a key witness who is challenging the official timeline of events. The documents obtained by Just the News show that both bombs, one planted at the Democratic National Committee and the other at the Republican National Committee, were filled with chemical building blocks of black powder. Each was equipped with a 60-minute kitchen timer, and each had destructive potential. But most notably, the FBI laboratory report never used the word, quote-unquote, viable to describe either bomb. Both devices never exploded and were discovered about 16 hours after the FBI claimed they were planted outside both major party headquarters. When properly assembled and initiated, an IED of this sort can cause property damage, bodily injury, or death, the lab report stated. The report offered no clear explanation why the bombs, which it called improvised explosive devices, did not detonate. The documents turned over by Patel to the House Judiciary Committee and its special January 6th investigative subcommittee also raised questions about that timeline. They include interviews with a key witness who said the RNC device still had 20 minutes remaining on its timer when she discovered it the following day. That witness raised the possibility that at least the RNC pipe bomb was planted just before it was discovered and not the night before, as the FBI claimed.
Right.
The mystifying evidence now has congressional investigators exploring stunning new theories, including whether the bombs were made to look real but not to explode to create a diversion during the January 6th protests, or whether someone came back and set the timers later on one or both of the devices. The single greatest action that facilitated the protesters' ease of entry into the Capitol on January 6th was the placing of the pipe bombs and the diversionary effect that had on security resources, which would have otherwise been at the Capitol, said Representative Barry Loudermilk, Republican from Georgia. After that day, the FBI was zealous in pursuing those trespassing at the Capitol, but quite lacking in their pursuit of whomever placed the pipe bombs. Loudermilk would go on to add, one focus of this committee will be highlighting the bizarre facts surrounding the pipe bomb case, hoping to bring much needed clarity on this subject to the American people. Lawmakers pilloried the FBI in a January report for the security failures surrounding the pipe bombs and the, quote, chaotic response of federal law enforcement after their discovery, end quote. They also criticized the Bureau for failing to provide substantive updates to Congress about the status of its investigation into the 2 bombs. The congressional panel also raised questions about how the FBI determined that both pipe bombs were, quote unquote, viable explosive devices, given that both were equipped with 60-minute kitchen timers, but were allegedly planted approximately 16 hours before they were discovered.
So who's telling the truth? Was the agency? Because the agency was proven that they found him the day after they said they did. So,
right.
That's kind of weird.
I'm more wondering because I don't trust the authorities
Yeah.
or the, like, I I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen the devices, to be honest with you. So I'm just curious.
The newly released internal memos are the most comprehensive insight to date into the Bureau's investigation of the pipe bombs. No suspect has been apprehended, despite the offer of a large reward and extensive timestamped security footage and a detailed description of the suspect's attire, making the bombs one of the great unsolved mysteries of January 6th. After 4 years of frustration with limited cooperation from former Director Chris Wray's FBI, there's that name again, congressional investigators are pleased by the transparency offered by the new director. But Battelle inherited the January 6th pipe bomb case 4 years after the incident and was left with files that lay bare a shoddy initial investigation. Because of that, and there's more to read here, but my gut is like, why the lack of interest in pursuing this? You know?
Joey, as I watch these things unfold, I have become most cynical in everything I look at now, because nothing ever happens. It's all just smoke and mirrors. And I don't know. I can't answer that question. I wish I could.
Here's an example, an instance of the shoddy work of the initial investigation. Federal law enforcement only interviewed the witness who discovered the RNC pipe bomb 5 days after the incident, and only after she submitted a tip to the FBI. I am the person that discovered and alerted the guards to the pipe bomb found next to the RNC on January 6th. I want to identify myself in case there are additional details I can provide that might be useful to the investigation, the tipster wrote. I did not see nor do I recognize the person of interest socialized in the media. However, I can confirm that the device must have been placed between 12 p.m. and 12:40 p.m. Eastern time, because it was not present when I went down to the area to start laundry at about 12 p.m., but it was present when I returned to continue laundry at about 12:40 p.m., she told the Bureau. The woman is identified as a worker at the U.S. Commerce Department. Congressional investigators told Just the News they have confirmed she also worked at the agency inside a program that coordinates first responder communications for police agencies.
Okay.
Her tip raises questions, but adds credibility. She's kind of been she's part of that pipeline of police work.
And she contacted because they had never did anything with her original complaint. Sorry, her tip.
Yeah, her tip raises questions about the discrepancy between the witness's timeline and the security footage obtained and released by the FBI. That footage shows that the suspect planted the bomb in an alley outside the RNC building at approximately 8:16 p.m. Or on the night of January 5th.
Okay.
This is about 16 hours before the witness encountered the device, which she insisted was planted that afternoon, not the day before. While doing laundry on January the 6th, the witness said she, quote, observed a suspicious device next to the exterior gate. I mean, my first question to her would be like, you sure you just noticed it then?
That's
you sure it wasn't there when you first walked in around
there?
there?
Right. That's exactly what she would do. Yeah.
At first glance, she thought someone missed the trash can. After a more intentional look, she observed the wires, pipe, and clock attached to the device, which led her to believe it could be an explosive device. The dial of the clock was set to the number 20. Though she initially thought the device was a quote-unquote prank, the witness decided to notify RNC security. So
that's clear as mud. That's as clear as mud. All that is.
The witness later identified herself to the media as Carlin Younger.
Okay.
In an interview with Business Insider, Younger recounted her experience finding the bomb, which matches closely with her FBI interview. Her public statements also appear to confirm the fact that federal authorities never spoke with her that day and didn't at all until she reached out through the tip line. The delay was not the only apparent misstep in the FBI's pipe bomb probe under Wray's watch. A whistleblower previously told Congress that the Bureau waited more than a year. Let me say that again. The Bureau waited more than a year to request field offices to canvass informants for information on the devices. The whistleblower, described as a, quote, senior FBI special agent, end quote, told lawmakers the request was, quote unquote, unusual because it was transmitted more than a year after the FBI began their investigation. And it raises questions about the progress and extent of the FBI's investigation. Well, damn, we're never going to find out the truth of this thing.
I have the utmost confidence that their expertise will prevail and their professionalism will bring us
hopefully.
No.
But I mean, this is the problem. And it's the same thing with the Epstein case. And Battelle made it clear the other day.
Yes.
That this information doesn't exist because of the deals made when Epstein was initially arrested. And there were all these restrictions put on search warrants, what they could investigate. They give the sweetheart deal where not only do you not have much jail time or any prison time, you're also get a non-prosecution agreement. Like, and what is this?
And he severely restricted any future investigation on it. Yeah,
so even if you are a very professional outlet, you're trying to, if you're coming in on the back end of a really investigation,
a jacked up situation,
designed to fail,
right?
Like you're going to have to start from scratch.
That's what I think. They basically scorched earth a lot of stuff that I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but Joey, there are things that are very concerning. So that's one of them. The FBI is terrible.
I wish Kash Patel, though, at these hearings would start working in what Michael Keaton does and the other guys. He just like, look, I tell my boys in the FBI, like, I tell the G-men, like, don't go chasing waterfalls.
That's right. Don't.
Just please stick to the lakes and the rivers that you're used to.
Don't be taking a knee at the BLM protest either.
I don't want no scrubs.
Did you see this? No, we don't want no scrubs. But it's the milkshake. It's drawn into the yard, man. I'm telling you. Whatever the heck she said.
That's not TLC.
I know it ain't. That's Lefty Lopez. I know it is. Waterfalls. I was talking about Missy Elliott. I thought it was Missy Elliott, wasn't it?
And reverse it. And so we got to hit another break. But it's just like when you hear Trump say, well, we're looking into Ray. He really was inappropriate. Then you look at a story like this. You're like, well, maybe Trump's on to something here.
You know, what do you think? What do you think the pucker factor is in Ray and Comey right now?
I think a lot of these.
Brennan, what do you think? It's got to be about a 7.5. No, it's got to be higher than 7. It's probably about an 8.5.
Here's how I would describe it. They could back up to a brick wall and suck out a brick. I will be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Jeff Mallinson with Georgia Floors Direct, and I want to talk to you about Blue Water Broadcast and how they've helped my business spread the word. As every small business owner, I have to look at my advertising dollars carefully, and Blue Water Broadcast helps me get the most for every dollar I spend. I'm so glad to be a part of Blue Water Broadcasting and what they bring to Montgomery.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go to the phones, talk to Austin Baranko with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing?
Having a great Monday, Joey. How was your weekend?
Oh, life's pretty good other than Auburn. I can stand the Buccaneers losing a close game, Tampa Bay, but Auburn just playing miserably yet again. It's got me a little down.
Yeah, that was a tough game to watch as an Auburn fan. All my siblings are Auburn graduates, and in a family group chat, listening to their complaints was tough and hard to relate. Though, as a Bama grad, we had a great weekend, Joey. I hate to rub it in, but I think it's fair.
No, you've hit the perfect cadence and tone of like, man, it's so like I heard all y'all. It must be so tough being an Auburn fan. Like, don't you do that to us?
I get it all the time, especially after our Florida State loss from all my Auburn fans, so it's only fair to return fire.
Oh, yeah. Now, let's talk about, I brought it up last week, this revised up GDP number. There's a lot of revisions over the last few months. Looking backwards, what do you make of this number popping up higher for the second quarter?
Yeah, so second quarter GDP came out. We were projected at a 3.5% growth. It came in at 3.8 after adjustment. So and you're talking about a massive swing to the upside. And a lot of people, when you're just looking at raw data, wouldn't expect it because our, exports were down. But the other thing is our imports were down. GDP basically takes, exports and subtracts imports, and you get a net number. And so these tariffs that we're applying are resulting in, less imports and less exports, but the net is a positive for the country. And so that's why you're seeing the GDP numbers go up. Residential real estate had a slight pop in quarter two to the good. We did see retail spending down slightly. So it's kind of a mixed bag. But in general, GDP growth is good. When we saw last week, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the market, pulling back relatively aggressively, I think it was a response to, like we said, rate cuts, and then Jerome basically saying that's it for the year. And then additionally, the strong GDP data lets people know, hey, maybe numbers are good. Maybe we don't need another rate cut. Residential home buying bounced back. And that's kind of one of the areas they look at for rate cuts. They're not directly related, but they are correlated, the Fed funds rate and the 10-year. So I think right now, everyone would love to see more rate cuts, but GDP is strong. I think it's trending in the right direction. It'll be quite a while till we get quarter three numbers revised, but that's why you're seeing those GDP numbers and the adjustment up looking good, despite people expecting kind of a decrease.
Yeah, no, and I like seeing that. And I believe I also saw that real wage growth is out there. So people are starting to catch up. I'm really looking at that like a hawk, that you want to see that real wage growth as we head into next year. And so, Main Street is feeling this, not just, say, Wall Street.
Yeah, and also it's important to note that GDP real and nominal were both up. So whatever way you're looking at it, it's positive. A lot of people sometimes will get in the weeds and choose real or nominal, but in this case, they're both up. So we had a strong quarter two. I think you'd agree quarter three is strong based on what we've seen so far. The market's kind of a leading indicator of GDP, and so I'd imagine that when in the fourth quarter, when we get third quarter numbers, they'll be positive. Interested to see how quarter four ends up. News in the broader market today is precious metals are through the roof. You've got platinum, silver, and gold all up between 1% and 2%. And then copper miners, which is indirectly related to copper, mines that, go out and actually dig for copper are up over 5% today. So typically that's a sign of inflation, which could, in the weeks to come, scare the market down a little bit with, the interest rate sensitive refis. But for now, it's really, I think it's exciting as a portfolio that holds a lot of those precious metals to see all of them in positive territory today.
Yeah. And I just checked my Bitcoin. It's also up 3.5% just today. So looks like all these hedges is like, against inflation. All right. That's good to see. Now let's tell folks before I let you go about Invista Advisors. And folks, it's this knowledge you're hearing on the show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but as well as the whole team working there with Austin Baranco, and they can put together correct me if I'm wrong, a full, like, holistic financial plan. Like, you can do full planning wherever you are in life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you bringing up planning, because that's really where we excel compared to some of our competitors. Is our planning is very robust. We're going to get into the weeds on every detail of your financial life. We want to know any outstanding loans that you have, what interest rates they're at, what the terms on those loans are. We want to understand what upcoming expenses you have, your goals for retirement, things like this. So if you are not great at, setting yourself a budget, forecasting 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years into the future based on your current financial situation, but you want to have that security of knowing where you're going in the roadmap of how to get from point A to point B being retirement, that's where we excel. So if you're listening and you haven't done that and you'd like to do that, please give us a call. We'd love the opportunity to help you.
Folks, that number for Invista Advisors, 387-0094. And when you call them up at 387-0094, be sure to say, hey, I heard Austin Baranco on the radio with the Joey Clark fella.
Awesome, Joey. Really appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great week. Talk to you Wednesday.
Appreciate it, Austin. Again, folks, that's Austin Baranco with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor, and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Armed federal agents are patrolling Chicago's downtown streets, and President Trump has called up 200 National Guard troops for deployment in Portland, Oregon. The latest examples of federal law enforcement presence in U.S. cities. The president said on social media he was directing the Department of Defense to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland. Authorities in the Bahamas have closed a majority of schools following mandatory evacuations for some islands as Tropical Storm Imelda drops heavy rain and unleashes flooding in the northern Caribbean. Tropical storm warning in effect for parts of the northwestern Bahamas. Heavy rain also forecast along the coastline of North and South Carolina. On Wall Street, the Dow dropping 70 points. The NASDAQ composite is up 93. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work.
Gonna follow along
Why?
with this email.
Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Headlines for the week ahead. A dry week, and we desperately need some rain, and not too terrible on the humidity. I mean, not great, but okay. Total sunshine today with a high around 87. Fairly comfortable tonight with mostly clear skies, low in the mid-60s. More sun, 88 tomorrow. Then a little cooler by midweek. Low 80s on Wednesday and Thursday, maybe even upper 50s on Thursday night. But unfortunately, dry for the week ahead, and we are slipping deeper and deeper into a drought. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations since we began in 1906. At CB&S Bank, we're here for you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Montgomery police have opened a homicide investigation following a weekend shooting that left a woman dead. The shooting happened just before 7 p.m. Friday night in the 500 block of Stone Street near the I-65-85 interchange. The unidentified woman was pronounced dead at the scene. Suspect and motive remain unknown. No further information has been released. Representative Reed Ingram of Pike Road has pre-filed a bill that could allow parents to give their children permission to pray in school. If passed by the Alabama legislature, the bill would lead to a constitutional amendment allowing Alabamians to vote on the issue. The new Elevation Hotel and Convention Center is set to open Wednesday. The 8th-floor hotel overlooking downtown is located at 600 Montgomery Street, site of the long-abandoned Hilltop Arms Apartments. Some of the hotel's first guests will include world-renowned musicians Branford Marsalis and Yo-Yo Ma, who will be performing a special concert on October 11th. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Listen up.
Y'all know what time it is.
Abbott Elementary returns.
Miss Shementi will no longer be teaching second grade. She'll be moving up to teach middle school math in homeroom.
New year.
Preteens are very different than second graders. Every day is like an episode of Scared Straight. What?
Same Abbott.
We live in a post-truth landscape, and these kids hit below the belt, which is where you haven't been touched in years.
Abbott Elementary season premiere Wednesday at 7:30 on ABC 32.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Soon, Donald Trump, President of the United States, and Bibi Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, will be holding a joint press conference after their Gaza talks.
Yes.
I will say Netanyahu was on Fox yesterday, and it was a bit more of a feisty interview.
He's a character. You know, he is one of the original. You know, his brother was one of the Israeli athletes that was killed by the terrorists on the tarmac there on the plane. And Bibi was the lead guy that went into the plane with the 22 silenced and killed like 7 Arabs that did it. Yeah, he's a tough nut, man. He's a tough nut.
Oh, yeah. I do not doubt that. It'll be interesting to see, though, what comes out of this meeting, which, again, like you can see it plain as day between the lines. There is some daylight between these two. There's something going on where they put on a good public face, and they do where it matters, support one another. Don't get me wrong there.
Oh, yeah. No,
there's definitely, I think, stuff that's gone. Like, for instance, I think that bombing, in Qatar?
Yeah.
I don't think Trump liked that very much.
I don't think he liked it, but I think that here's what he knows. I think as much as he says about peace plan and 21 points, you heard what the ambassador said yesterday from Israel. Hamas needs to be removed from the equation. They're the problem. And I honestly don't see a world, Joey, where they're not going to try to take all of that West Bank, East Jerusalem back and the Gaza and reclaim it for Israel. I just don't see that after that attack that occurred. People forget how brutal that attack was.
Right.
And they really do. They have a short memory.
Well, while we're waiting on that press conference to start, let's do a little bit of local, shall we?
We shall.
So let's go to 1819news.com and let's see. Their top story is F. Charlie Kirk, BLM activist Carlos Traverse Jr.
Who's he?
sends threatening email to 1819 news reporter. And the featured photo is a photo of him in Joker face paint. Like Heath Ledger. And,
like Heath Ledger or
like Heath Ledger.
Okay. Not like Jack Nicholson.
This is the photo they decided to use.
That's not even funny. That's terrible makeup. He looks more like a voodoo guy.
Yeah, it's a little freaky. But warning, this article contains explicit language.
Viewer discretion is advised.
This is written by Jeff Poore.
Yep.
He's the editor-in-chief there at 1819 News. Despite his numerous futile efforts over the years to be a significant player in the Birmingham political scene, Carlos Traverse Jr., a political consultant and Black Lives Matter activist, is resorting to profanity-laced misogynistic emails to reporters in an attempt to get his way. Although he's relocated to Colorado, Traverse remains engaged in the Birmingham political scene. Why? Just move to Colorado, man. Like, goodness gracious. Why is her heart still here?
Can't let it go, man.
But apparently Traverse took issue with an 1890 news report about Birmingham's Carver High teacher Jasmine Faith Clisby's decision to publicly express her disdain for Briarwood's decision to offer a public prayer honoring the late Charlie Kirk on social media. Carlos Traverse Jr. sent to April Marie Fogel there at 1819 News, and I got to do this in a way where I'm, not violating too many of the rules here. But you'll catch my drift. The subject of this email from Carlos to April Marie is, what is it? Dumb.
Really?
Yeah, itch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like itchy. Or like a female dog in heat.
He writes, "What a dumb you are. To write an entire article about a woman. You have nothing better to do, you low-life scum. Charlie Kirk. I'm personally paying for a lawyer for the young lady, and we will sue 1819 News until we own it. You can't defame someone, dumb."
He's a political consultant. He's very good with his vocabulary.
Traverse missive tracks with his erratic Facebook reactions to the Kirk assassination. Exploiting tragedy is nothing new for Traverse. In 2018, he used the 2018 death of E.J. Bradford Jr., died in an officer-involved shooting at the River Chase Galleria in Hoover for self-promotion. Oh, I remember that one. That one was...
Really?
Yeah. So that's not the only story there at 1819 News.
Hey, real fast. Did he have white face on? Was he wearing white face? No, he was.
No, that's a Joker face, man.
No, that's a
I'm
white
gonna
face.
call it what it is.
It's a white face. It looks like a transgender.
No,
with
white
lipstick.
face, and it was done so well. I thought it was great. Did you see what Drewski did?
No, I didn't.
This was a few weeks back.
I didn't see that.
The makeup was so good. I'm telling you, they put him to look like a white dude.
That's amazing.
And he went and hung out at a NASCAR race.
That's funny. That's funny. Now I have to
and
check
it was
that out.
great.
That sounds good.
Like he was hilarious.
I would watch that.
And what you find is like, dadgum, like
like,
seriously, I looked
he's
at him and
one
go,
of
"You
us."
look like my uncle, man."
That's
Like,
so funny.
look
Man.
like my Uncle Craig.
I did not see that.
So, I think stuff can be done in a way that's great and hilarious.
I was just being facetious. When
I know. But that's not the only story. The second leading story at 1819 News is meet Rahim.
Yeah.
R-A-H-I-M. Rahim. Meet Rahim Farr. T-H-A-W-E-R.
Okay.
Rahim Farr. The anti-Charlie Kirk University of Alabama professor conducting doctoral research on, quote, anti-racist, queer-affirming psychoanalytic frameworks.
Hold on real fast. A PhD student or a doctoral
student?
Okay, because I think it said professor. I don't think they could be a professor.
Well,
they could be an instructor.
No, it is.
They could be an instructor.
Nobody is a professor, so I think he must be like.
He's a grad instructor, is what we call it in college. But okay, semantics. Okay, I'm just understanding if he's like a tenured professor or something like that. But no.
And to get a. Oh wow! Is that Bad Bunny? No, that's not Bad Bunny. That's this guy.
Is that him? That is Bad Bunny, though. Isn't it?
Right.
Okay,
it's kind of the same with the pearls. Excuse me.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah. By the way, Bad Bunny is going to be the halftime show.
People aren't happy about it. Rubio's fuming over.
Like the only time I've seen Bad Bunny was in the new Happy Gilmore movie. He was funny in that.
That is the new.
He was funny in that. But like I've never listened. I looked into him and I'm like, well, billions of plays.
He's a demonic Marxist, is what
what a lot of
said about him.
And he purposely decided not to tour the U.S. Because F Trump or something to that effect.
Yeah, and he doesn't sing anything in English, so they're not going to be happy with
to
that.
his credit, if you go to like YouTube Music alone, I don't know on Spotify,
He's
he
number
is
two.
like his numbers. One song has 3 billion spins.
Only Taylor Swift streams him.
Yeah, so I get the popularity worldwide, but it is a bit of and this is the nature of these things. There's always a bit of an FU to the official entertainment crowd to the rest of the United States of America, and that's just, I guess, how it's going to be.
That's a gay name too, Bad Bunny.
It is.
That's gay sounding to me. He needs to get his ass whipped.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know if that'll change his
That
name.
will change his attitude. A good ass beating is what they need sometimes. Bad Bunny. What are you, a little bunny rabbit, Peter Cottontail? I'm sorry. Come up with something more like Dire Wolf or something, right? I mean, or Spanish Puerto Rican Chupa.
I'm sorry, you got to stop giving new suggestions because they all sound gay.
Yeah,
Let's go to Raheem Thar.
Okay.
In April 2024. Calm down.
Bad Bunny.
Calm down.
Give me a badass.
Sometimes you're just
Can't
like,
take you
I
serious.
just want to fight him. Like,
No,
you don't have to fight him.
He is a candy ass. You're like a warrior compared to that name. Joey Clark, Bad Bunny.
Oh, goodness. But in April 2024, Raheem Thar, a racialized, quote unquote, racialized, quote unquote, anti-Zionist queer Muslim from Canada, was accepted into the University of Alabama's Doctor of Social Work program.
Oh, boy.
Thar shared a graphic showing his admission letter and offer letters for a 3-year teaching contract.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, which indicated that out of 188 applicants, only 20 were admitted to the university's social work doctoral program. Thar was one of 3 faculty members the College Republican Federation of Alabama identified as posting inappropriate remarks following the death of Charlie Kirk. The group has requested that University of Alabama President Peter Moeller terminate their employment. According to his website, Thar's doctoral research explores how anti-racist, queer-affirming psychoanalytical frameworks can support social workers, therapists in training, and organizational leaders. His CV states, quote, I specialize in teaching that integrates clinical rigor with cultural humility. For his UA School of Social Work courses, he lists undergraduate and graduate courses in forensic social work practice, anti-oppression, and social justice. At Vance Clinical Social Work Practice, professional writing in social work, chemical dependency, social work practice with children and adolescents. Thar is currently teaching courses on understanding intersectionality and identity, dismantling barriers to inclusion within organizations, countering biases and microaggressions, engaging diversity and inclusion in organizations at the University of British Columbia, and Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Certificate program there.
He didn't get the memo, did he?
In October 2024, Thar reposted a message celebrating the life of Yawa Sinwar. Wow.
Yeah.
Sinwar.
Yeah. Hamas fan. Yeah.
A Hamas terrorist on Israel's most wanted list for masterminding the October 7th terror attack. According to a PBS News report following his death, Sinwar was known as the butcher of Khan Yunis?
Yeah, Khan Yunis. Yeah.
For his brutal approach to Palestinians suspected of collaborating with Israel. Yeah, Sinwar is the mastermind of let's build the tunnels and use.
He's the one that was up in the. You remember they got him cornered in the condo and he's throwing a stick at the drone and they kill him. But yeah, he was the bad guy.
And he's the one that said we're going to use our women and children as our number one weapons in this.
Absolutely. And he does. That's neat that he honored him. That's wonderful.
The ex-post Thar reposted said the footage of Sinwar's death immortalizes Sinwar and galvanizes all of us to have courage and resolve until the last moment. The footage showed the epic heroism and defiance of an unbroken man even after he broke his body. It showed a leader fighting alongside his men on the front lines against Zionist barbarism.
Showed a 50 cal through his skull.
Yeah, this guy is...
He's a Canadian, first of all. And do you think, let me ask you this, do you think his credentials and his competitive packet was better than a lot of people that didn't get in?
No, I think for that program, he checked the right boxes.
He got the nod. Nod, yeah. But then again, it's sociology.
Well, and while the post literally closed with a call to arms against Jewish people, it said no words can capture the pride and renewed resolve that emerges from our heartbreak to resist them until the malignant ideology is gone from this earth. Wow.
They don't recognize the right for them to exist, Joey.
Wow.
So what's going to happen there, do you think?
Well, he's still working there.
Yeah.
Still working there.
Not even suspended or anything, huh?
Yeah. And there's more detail on this guy if y'all want to do the deep dive there at 1819 News.
Yeah.
Inspired by Karl Marx, this guy explained, following critical theory analyses, we can infer that capitalism not only alienates us from our work, but also commodifies our lost emotional worlds, offering us partial returns through consumption. He continued, we are not merely treating individuals in distress, we are encountering subjects formed by and often suffering under dominant social, economic, and moral narratives.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
In his post, he said, the following takeaways highlight how these connections matter for your learning in the history of social welfare course. Policies shape people's lives on the inside too, Troy. Just as Freud and Lacan, or however Lacan, showed how shame and desire shape our choices, U.S. welfare history shows how policies shaped who was seen as quote-unquote deserving and who was stigmatized. Alienation isn't just about work. It's about dignity. Marx helps us to see how people can be cut off from meaningful work and respect. Welfare systems sometimes reinforce this separation, even while trying to offer support. Shame and stigma follow policy lines. Shame isn't just personal. It's tied to how society has judged poor people, immigrants, single mothers, people of color, and LGBTQ plus communities across different eras of welfare policy. Yeah, because nobody else was judged, right?
Nope.
We don't judge native-born people and so-called rich people or the nuclear family.
There's no reverse. There's no hypocrisy there.
Mm-hmm. Resistance is both personal and collective. People resist internalized shame, and communities resist exclusionary policies. From grassroots mutual aid to civil rights movements, collective action has always challenged inequality, and yada, yada, yada. But the University of Alabama administration has not publicly responded to the letter from the College Republican Federation, nor have they responded to U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville's call to action to terminate one of the other professors named in the letter.
All you Bammers need to be making those phone calls to your alma mater.
Oh, isn't this just great?
You know, some people, there's a term, have you heard, people are educated beyond their intellect. That individual's educated beyond his intellect.
Yeah, there's a lot there where I would just be like, well, that's what you get for going into, what is it, the College of Social Work.
That's what I said. It's sociology. And where did he come from? The University of Vancouver or British Columbia. You know it's liberal over there.
Like, whatever, man.
You ever been to Vancouver?
Like, stop sending your kids to these places to go get it.
Stop letting foreigners in to do it.
Like,
sorry.
No, but I think that's what's going to be the biggest change. His parents go, I'm not paying for your stupid college degree.
I think
it's stupid. You can go and work your tail off and get all sorts of trade skills. If you really have a focused track, you know exactly what you do. Maybe we'll pay for college, but we're not going to let you go there and just join La La Land.
Join the military, then they'll pay
for tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but man, that was a killer party last weekend.
Killer party.
When you said that you waste all that money, and then the kid goes, but man, Joey, that was a killer party last weekend.
See, I'm so beyond those years.
But
you're right.
The thought is instant
the experience.
Come on, Joey.
It's the experience.
Man, I can't believe that happened last night.
Right. Well, and you would hope that if you send your kid in, they're the ones that rebel against these freaks.
You would hope. Yeah.
But
sometimes they get turned.
Right.
We don't want.
Well, they tried on me. Didn't work.
Yeah. You told me about the professor that's.
And there are many others too, but didn't really work.
My best students here.
Didn't
work on you. The magic was weak
at all. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health, and they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They're ready to help you fellas out if you just don't feel yourself, especially if you're getting a little older.
Yeah.
Don't say, "Hey, I'm tired and sluggish" just because I'm aging.
Yeah,
it's the wrong way to go about this. Low energy. And performance issues, especially in the bedroom, are inevitable. Solutions do exist. There's no guesswork, no gimmicks at Montgomery Men's Health, just real science and effective treatments. Not going to throw a bunch of generic fixes your way. No, the urologists and providers at Montgomery Men's Health will tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. And beyond just testosterone treatment, they also have ED treatments as well as other options many men don't even know exist. It's affordable and accessible. Consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. Gentlemen, you got to act now. You only got one life. Procrastination's only going to make this worse. And hey, don't assume it's aging. And if you feel like crap in this way in your 20s and 30s, get by Montgomery Men's Health. See if it's that low T or something else going on with you that they can help you through. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment
today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
The claws are out.
Spots tonight, James Day's all new. First,
We have an Oscar winner in the house.
Jane Krakowski welcomes Mira Sorvino to the Celebrity Name That Tune podium.
I can name that tune in one note. Wow!
Then, 4 famous reality couples get a reality check from Jane Lynch.
Who just realized there's no smart one in their relationship?
All new Celebrity Name That Tune, followed by an all new Celebrity Weakest Link.
Tonight on Fox 20.
It's finally here. The 72nd Alabama National Fair, October 3rd through the 13th at Carrot Coliseum. Thrill to the rides that light up the Midway. Experience amazing shows like the Zerbini Circus, the Swifty Swine Racing Pigs, and the Puppet Tone Rockers. And don't forget the food. Funnel cakes, turkey legs, corn dogs, and all of your fair favorites. Opening weekend, the fair turns up the music. Saturday the 4th, it's Corey Kennan Concert. Sunday the 5th. Skillet will rock the Coliseum stage with an energy you'll feel in your bones. Both shows start at 7 p.m. and are free with your fair admission. Presented by the Porch Creek Indians. Sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Montgomery, Hyundai Motor Manufacturing, Alabama, and Coca-Cola.
The Alabama National Fair.
It's the best 11 days of fall.
Hi, I'm Jane Ray, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Radio is an active medium. It can create immediacy, driving shoppers to a specific store, brand, or to take a specific action. Radio ads engage with the audience in a personal and unique way. Contact me, Jane Ray, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Can you hear the squeals and smell the corn dogs and funnel cakes? The 11 best days of fall are almost here. The Alabama National Fair. News Talk 93.1 WACV has your fair tickets. Listen for your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Alabama National Fair, coming to the Garrett Coliseum October 3rd through the 13th. It's the 11 best days of fall. The Alabama National Fair. From News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Headlines for the week ahead. A dry week, and we desperately need some rain, and not too terrible on the humidity. I mean, not great, but okay. Total sunshine today with a high around 87. Fairly comfortable tonight with mostly clear skies, low in the mid-60s. More sun, 88 tomorrow. Then a little cooler by midweek. Low 80s on Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe even upper 50s on Thursday night. But unfortunately, dry for the week ahead, and we are slipping deeper and deeper into a drought. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Wet feet, melting popsicles, puppy prints. Summer is hard on floors, but Pergo Vinyl by Mohawk is kid-proof, pet-proof, and life-proof. And right now during the Pergo event at Prattville Carpet, you can get luxury vinyl, worry-free floors, plus up to $1,000 in rebates on qualifying Pergo products. So gorgeous new floors up to $1,000 back. And did I mention 12 months no interest? Get the details and shop Mohawk's Pergo event now at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with us.
Hello, everybody.
And let's go to this live.
And dialogue that we had with so many countries. Saudi Arabia, as an example, the king is a phenomenal person. The Emir of Qatar, he's incredible people. UAE, and that's MBZ and ABZ. We're totally involved. These are the people that we've been dealing with and who've been actually very much involved in this negotiation, giving us ideas, things they can live with, things they can't live with. Pretty complex. I mean, after 2,000, 3,000 years, whatever it is, I guess it's got to be a little complex, or it would have been done a long time ago. The King of Jordan was with us, as you know, in the United Nations. The President of Turkey, President Erdogan, is a friend of mine, a strong man, but a good man. President of Indonesia, somebody who's an amazing leader, Prabowo. He is an amazing leader and respected by everybody. He was in the room with us. We were together with most of these people that I'm mentioning. Others were by phone or the next day. The Prime Minister and the Field Marshal of Pakistan, they were with us right from the beginning. Incredible. In fact, they just put out a statement that they fully believe in this pact. It just came out just as I was walking around. They said, sir, you have a big notice from the Prime Minister of Pakistan and from the Field Marshal that they back this 100%. President El-Sisi of Egypt, who's terrific. And these are people I've gotten to know over the years. I mean, I would say it started around 2015 and then went into 2016 when the presidency officially began. But I've known him actually for a long time, and there are many cases really great men. I can't say in all cases, but I will tell you in many cases, they're great men and some great women too. They tend to be mostly men, however, I will say that. But if accepted by Hamas, this proposal calls for the release of all remaining hostages immediately, but in no case more than 72 hours. So the hostages are coming back, and I hate even saying this from the standpoint, doesn't sound right, but it is so important to the parents. The bodies of the young men, I believe in almost all cases, the young men are coming back immediately. I met with parents. The parents felt as strongly about getting the body of their dead boy back as they did as though the boy were alive and well. It's so important to them. And it means the immediate end to the war itself, not just Gaza. It's the war itself. Under the plan, Arab and Muslim countries have committed, and in writing in many cases, but I actually would take their word for it. The people I mentioned, I'd take their word for it, to demilitarize Gaza, and that's quickly. Decommission the military capabilities of Hamas and all other terror organizations. Do that immediately. And we're relying on the countries that I named and others to deal with Hamas. And I'm hearing that Hamas wants to get this done too, and it's a good thing.
Apparently, this is happening live from the White House. In a second, I imagine you will hear Bibi Netanyahu, but it sounds like it is a multilateral deal to finally end this thing.
Yeah, you know, one of the things as we're listening to this, I keep in mind, was Israel, how much was Israel involved? They weren't sitting at the tables with the Arab leaders. I know that, and that's troubling to me.
Well, we'll keep listening.
The new transitional authority in Gaza, all parties will agree on a timeline for Israeli forces to withdraw in phases. They'll be withdrawing in phases. No more shooting, hopefully. As progress is made toward achieving these goals, Arab and Muslim nations need to be allowed the chance to fulfill these commitments of dealing with Hamas. They have to deal with them because they were the one group that we have not dealt with. I haven't dealt with them. But the Arab countries are going to, and Muslim countries are going to be dealing with Hamas, and I believe they've already been there. I think they probably have an understanding, and they haven't maybe mentioned that, but I would imagine they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone as far as they've gone. If they're unable to do so, then Israel would have the absolute right and actually our full backing, U.S. full backing. Marco's here. And a lot of our leaders are here, our great vice president, Susie Wiles, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. They've been so involved in this process. I don't think anybody else could have done it or even come close. But it's we're right there. We're right there. First time in thousands of years, I think you can probably say, if you really look into it, if you study back, if you're a scholar, you would say thousands of years. Israel would have my full backing to finish the job of destroying the threat of Hamas. But I hope that we're going to have a deal for peace. And if Hamas rejects the deal, which is always possible, they're the only one left. Everyone else has accepted it. But I have a feeling that we're going to have a positive answer. But if not, as you know, Bibi, you'd have our full backing to do what you would have to do. Everyone understands that the ultimate result must be the elimination of any danger posed in the region. And that danger is caused by Hamas. The tyranny of terror has to end. And this is, again, something that we're looking for. This is eternity. This is for forever. To ensure the success of this effort, my plan calls for the creation of a new international oversight body, the Board of Peace, we call it. The Board of Peace, sort of a beautiful name, the Board of Peace, which will be headed, not at my request, believe me, I'm very busy, but we have to make sure this works. The leaders of the Arab world and Israel and everybody involved asked me to do this, so it would be headed by a gentleman known as President Donald J. Trump of the United States. That's what I want, is some extra work to do, but it's so important that I'm willing to do it, and we'll do it right. And we're going to put leaders from other countries on, and leaders that are very distinguished leaders, and we'll have a board. And one of the people that wants to be on the board is the UK former Prime Minister, Tony Blair, good man, very good man, and some others. And they'll be named over the next few days. And it'll be quite the board. Working, everybody wants to be on it now. I don't know if that had anything to do. They named me and everybody else wanted to be on it. I guess they figure, well, he's a soft touch. He'll be easy to deal with. Working with the World Bank and others, it will be responsible for recruiting and training a new government that will be made up of Palestinians, along with highly qualified experts from all around the world. Hamas and other terrorist factions will play no role in the board, but they'll play no role in the governance of Gaza at all, directly or indirectly. As you know,
again, folks, this is happening live from the White House.
Hamas leaders have been killed, and soldiers have been killed. And we can never forget October 7th, but thousands have paid the price for that. And now it's time to get our hostages back and get back to trying to build something that's really great and very important. In our meeting today, Prime Minister Netanyahu was very clear about his opposition to a Palestinian state. And he continuously mentions October 7th, and I understand that. Most people do. And I understand and respect his position on many things, but what he's doing today is so good for Israel. I noticed that they have large crowds gathering in Israel all the time, and they have my name up. They like me for whatever reason, Bibi, I don't know, but they do like me. But
of course,
they said two things. Please get the hostages back, and please end the war. They've had it. It's had it. So I think it's a very popular thing you do, because he's a warrior. He doesn't know about getting back to a normal way of life, but he is a warrior, and Israel's lucky to have him. But now the people want to get back to peace. They want to get back to normalization in a true sense. Several countries have foolishly recognized the Palestinian state. As you know, some of our European friends, allies, good people, but they're really, I think, doing that because they're very tired of what's going on for so many decades. They've been presidents and prime ministers for years, and during this time, having to do with the Middle East, all they're doing is talking about the same thing over and over. They want to see it get back. And nobody wants that more than me, or I believe Bibi too. But the people of Israel want it. They really want it. They want the hostages back. That includes the probably 32 bodies that we're talking about, 20 people that are living, 32 or so people that are dead, and they want to have peace. So let us not forget how we got here. Hamas was elected by the Palestinian people. Israel withdrew from Gaza thinking they would live in peace. Remember that a long time ago, they withdrew. They said, you take it. This is our contribution to peace. But that didn't work out. That didn't work out. It was the opposite of peace. They pulled away. They let them have it. And I never forgot that because I said, that doesn't sound like a good deal to me. As a real estate person, I mean, they gave up the ocean, right? Ron, they gave up the ocean. They said, who would do this to you?
By the way, I'm going to mute it and like keep running here for a second. But you know what I said last week about him meandering?
Yeah.
He just like, whether it's talking about Tylenol or it's talking about at the UN or whatever it is.
He definitely does that. He kind of meanders.
But my first blush of this is what essentially Trump and Steve Witkoff proposed months and months ago.
Sure. This is
that you'll have this international body that will govern it, which honestly, given the last time, well, they had an election Hamas has voted in, maybe you can actually get something out of this.
I think you're creating this, just my thoughts, color me skeptical. Sure. I'm going to tell you why. I have a feeling the reason Bibi is going along with this is he knows that Hamas is not going to agree to the terms. And they got 72 hours to decide that, to release those hostages should they. And I think he says, I don't lose any face with the president and with the public saying, okay, we tried for peace again. We've done peace all this time. 2-state solution didn't work. They're never satisfied. They don't recognize our right to even exist. How can you coexist with that?
But the reason Trump and Witkoff have proposed this is because it is building off the Abraham Accord. So like Netanyahu was asked yesterday, point blank, are you ready for your own ends, especially getting rid of Hamas, to scuttle the Abraham Accords? He said no. And in particular, he said the UAE, Israelis and folks from the Emiratis are coming back and forth. Like we're doing a lot of business together.
Yeah.
So if it's not Hamas, if it's not the Palestinian Authority, if it's essentially the same folks that are running UAE and a lot of the Gulf Arab states, and they turn it into what they've turned their countries into, is that not ideal?
Well, it would be. And the problem is the Palestinians, Israel sees the long game. They see the scalability of this solution and that they get to keep all the rest of the Arab world. Nobody wants them. I'm sorry. No one wants the Palestinians, not even their own people out.
Here's the fact of the matter. Somebody is going to have to be the new big, I almost said something else, the biggest dog on the block.
Yeah.
Have the biggest stick.
That's right.
In Gaza in particular, given how war-torn it is.
It is very.
And so the question becomes, who do you want that government to be? And I think it is ideal if it is Arabs and not Israelis imposing that peace.
I do too. And the problem we're going to have with an internal force like this, what do you call it? The BOP or whatever, the Bureau of Peace or whatever. You're replacing probably half of those guys were former Hamas on payroll. Now they're just going over to the security force. That's what happened in Afghanistan.
Okay.
That's very, very common in the Arab world.
Yeah. Well,
I just put on a hat here and at night I'm this guy. And
in some ways though, like don't you get like true change though, in the sense of like this guy that just recognized in Syria.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, you've been awful, to put it mildly, for a decade plus. But aren't you tired of killing people? Aren't you tired of seeing all your folks killed? And you just went through this whole civil war and you're on top now.
Yeah.
So do you want stability now? We'll give you the stability if you put on a suit and you stop blowing people up.
Yeah. Well, you remember what you said, Joey. Words are great, but actions is what matters.
Oh, you're right. No, and I get especially because you have much more experience literally on the ground with this part of the world.
I have.
So I hear your skepticism loud and clear.
But let me rephrase this. Skepticism in that I think knowing Hamas and knowing the way of this thought process, Joey, when someone does not recognize your right to really exist and sees you as an existential threat and that you don't belong here, you're never going to have peace with those people, Joey. You're never going to have it. I mean, I believe that Israel gave it the old college try with the two-state solution. But Hamas, what did they do? They took the money given to them from the UN, built networks instead of feeding their people and developing schools. And that's a problem, you know?
So Trump is still talking.
Yeah, he's meandering still.
Yeah, let's jump in.
Let's see how great I am here. Yeah.
Would campaign on making Jerusalem the capital of Israel. They campaigned on it over and over. Is that right, Steve? Is that right? Everyone, and when they got to it, and I understand why now, because it was so. When I got to office, I campaigned on it too. I said, we're going to make it. And then I'd get calls from the leaders of various countries saying, please don't do it. Please don't do it. It'll end the whole world. Please don't do it. And finally, I just didn't say anything, and I did it. People were calling me before I did it because I heard I was going to do it. And leaders of countries were calling me.
They called me because they heard I'm going to do it.
I was going to do it. I did it. I just went ahead and did it.
Oh, my
They called me
God.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3-4 times a day. And I said, tell them I'll call them back on Friday. And I announced it on Thursday. And
I voted for Trump. I'd vote for him all over
just
again.
listen, he's brought some refreshing
done it.
humor to
But-
this.
but
Come on, like some of this is like talking to your grandpa on the phone. A little bit of this is like, get to the point, man.
He's earned it.
I agree, but still.
I wish you called me a little sooner. Maybe I could have done something about it. So that was a lot easier than.
I love it. I just wind him up and let him go. He's entertaining.
Because I knew what they were calling about. And you know what? It turned out to be amazing. Everybody thought it was going to lead to the end of the world, right? The end of the world, Ron. That's what they said. It didn't lead to anything. It just led to
And maybe he's filibustering on purpose. To just
think
kind of
he's
chew up
stumping
time.
right now. He's stumping right now.
He might be.
He does. I think he's doing it to top cover Netanyahu to not have to answer so many questions.
And I cut taxpayer funding to the corrupt United Nations Relief and Works
true.
Agency. And United Nations was interesting because,
There
as
was
you know, a few days ago, they introduced me, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States. I'm looking at my teleprompter. And the thing was dead, stone cold.
What are we even talking about? Yes, we know what happened last week. We were all watching.
He's talking about the corrupt aid groups for the UN.
Anyway, I'll put it this way.
Listen, I'm going to have to watch all this. 'cause
People
this is
that
good.
have been in that part of the world, like yourself, whether in the military front or the diplomatic corps, or they just live there, they've done business there. I think the conventional wisdom is what folks have been trying for the so-called peace deal in the Middle East for at least 80 years, and it failed.
Yes.
So just conventional wisdom would say this will also fail.
This will fail.
But again, keep in mind it's Trump. And every time it looks like this dude's going to fail, he's done. He pulls a rabbit out of the hat.
This is true.
And it's classic Trump that, a few months ago, he was saying, well, we'll just take over Gaza ourselves and make it like the,
a nice vacation.
And everybody freaked out, including a lot of these Arab leaders you just named.
I know.
So I think that was the essential flipping of the tables and said, hey, let's actually try something different than a failed approach that has not worked for several decades now.
I think what's most important to keep in mind here, Joey, the Abraham Accords are definitely a seminal piece that helped to usher in a lot of peace there in the Gulf Arab world. That's really a victory, that the Abraham Accords. I'm not sure getting this. I'm sorry, the Palestine issue, I don't think Trump can fix it, and he may say that he does.
But the point of the Abraham Accords, if you listen to like Jared Kushner, was always to drive the Abraham Accords as the key that solves the lock of the Palestinians.
Yeah, I got that. But the problem that I think Jared didn't understand, and again, I'm not sharpshooting, most of the Arab world does not care for the Palestinians. They don't want them anywhere near there.
Well, but I think that's what they're essentially saying. Y'all come in, y'all enforce the peace. The Israeli security will be involved, but y'all need to be the main ones that enforce the peace. Y'all can get real rich. We can expand this. Trump even said apparently in this that he wants to bring Iran into the Abraham Accords. Now, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I kind of get it with the Gulf Arabs, but anyway.
No. The Gulf Arabs got the money anyhow.
So Trump has filibustered. I was trying to stick with it because see what Netanyahu says, but he's still going, and he really is doing grandpa whisper meandering. He's like Moses, retelling the same stories over.
Joey, I think that was right, Joey? Right. Troy, did you? Yeah, right, Troy?
And I was in the UN, and they called me, and they said, the President of the United States, and the teleprompter wasn't working, and so I said, I can read.
After I had to go up the escalator.
Yes, and then before I moved it to Jerusalem, they called me and said, don't do it. The world we're in, so I just did it. Didn't say anything. They called me again on Monday.
Because they knew I was going to do it.
And then they called me again on Tuesday.
I love it.
And I said Monday.
Monday, you can't trust that day.
In fact, I think it's just another manic Monday, BB.
That's right.
I wish it was still Sunday, the Lord's Day. Because you know what? That's my fun day. It's like, stop quoting lyrics, Mr. President.
He's doing a great job, though. Listen, he's calling people out by name. Marco, Stevie.
If they pull this off, it's amazing. But I
think it's just happy. It's just so Netanyahu can make a statement, not have to answer any questions.
This is part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage, and they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you with buying a place.
Yes.
Especially as interest rates are coming down.
Absolutely.
If you are looking to purchase a spot, at least been thinking about it, at least start the conversation with Alabama Home Mortgage. Or if you're looking to refinance, maybe you're close or in retirement, want to bring down monthly overhead costs, maybe you want to reinvest in yourself, your property, your family, whatever goal you're trying to meet, they can help you out there. And of course, it really is important to get the process done quick and early.
That's what they do.
And that's what they do there at Alabama Home Mortgage. Just start the conversation. Call them at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Hi, this is Danny with High Caliber Gun and Pawn. November, we'll be celebrating 10 years doing business in the river region, and Blue Water Broadcasting has been an integral part of that 10 years. High Caliber Gun and Pawn, we say we are a step above the rest, and Blue Water Broadcasting definitely is that step.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Good to hear. What's the score there today at Cohen's?
I feel like 24-21. No.
Oh, it's a close game.
No, I mean, that was Alabama's score. But
thanks.
I mean, I could have been ugly and thrown out the Auburn score.
You could have.
No. It's like 21-0. And Michael Jackson came in, picked up a bunch of stuff, went out, got it done. While he was gone, one of our, I don't know, probably a customer that's been our customer for probably 50 years, came in and needed a new television. And so he's going to get him taken care of this afternoon. He's got a nice articulating mount that pulls out and rotates. He's going to take a Sonos sound bar with him, just in case. And, it's been a good day here. And then, of course, Trump is, as I hear one announcer say, we just really don't deserve him. I love that man.
Oh, but he really is doing I'm just going to meander here. I know BB's waiting to speak, but I'm just going to talk and refer to people by their first names we can't even see on camera. Steve, what a great job, Steve.
I like it when he talks about Jasmine Crockett. What a low IQ person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think they like Jasmine running her mouth. It's good for them. Oh, wow. Folks, if you want to watch big press conferences like this on a brand new TV, or maybe you threw up watching Jasmine Crockett and you need a new washing machine that can actually handle it, Cohen's can help you. Again, electronics, appliances, and don't forget the whole grilling section. We got to start promoting that a little bit. Like when it turns to fall, I always think of like smoking some meat in some way. But y'all get by Cohen's. You can always check them out online at thinkcohens.com. But I encourage you to stop by 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery, open 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure to find Michael and say, hey, I heard you on that radio show with that Joey Clark fellow.
That's right. Y'all come see us. Bring us some pictures of whatever area you're trying to upgrade, and let our people ask you some questions. You ask us some questions, and let us help you make the right choice. Y'all have a great day. Talk to you Wednesday.
Appreciate you, sir. Again, that's Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. It looks like BB is now speaking, but we really only have 2 minutes.
I just spoke with, I think we got a few seconds if you just want to put it on. He's getting everything together right now. So
let's see here.
Yeah.
Let's go live.
Yeah, yes, he's right.
Muslim countries. I support your plan to end the war in Gaza, which achieves our war aims. It will bring back to Israel all our hostages, dismantle Hamas's military capabilities, end its political rule, and ensure that Gaza never again poses a threat to Israel. We would not have achieved this turning point without the courage and sacrifice of our incredibly brave soldiers. They fight like lions to defend the people of Israel, and they serve on the front line in the war between civilization and barbarism. Mr. President, when our two countries stand shoulder to shoulder, we achieve the impossible. Just a few months ago, in Operation Rising Lion and Operation Midnight Hammer, we struck a decisive blow against Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile program.
So I got in my top there break, but it looks like at least publicly he is affirming this new deal. And
he's smart. He knows what to do because I think he thinks that it probably will fail ultimately.
Well, we shall see. Coming up here after the top of the hour break, we have a few special guests, a couple special guests.
An incredible American hero. Yeah, that's going to be joining us.
Major James Capers Jr.
Yeah.
We will be talking to him, as well as Lieutenant Colonel, just for short, Bull.
Bull. Just call him Bull. That's
just call him Bull.
He looks like Bull from, do you remember the show Night Court?
A little bit.
You remember that the one guy, Harry, was the judge, and then they had the real tall, bald guy. But listen, he's the Marine in A Few Good Men who grabs Jack Nicholson. He's the extra, and he grabs him and goes, "That's enough, Colonel," when he tells him he's going to crap down his throat after he cuts his head off.
Dadgum, Nicholson, don't go full method. Like, dadgum, dude.
He goes, and Bull will go, "I can handle the truth."
Okay, well, we got to hit this top of the hour break. We'll have those two gentlemen, special guests here on the other side.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Trump is hosting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for critical talks aimed at ending the war in Gaza. A 20-point peace plan for Gaza has been unveiled. For the first time, it tries to outline the key question of how the territory will be ruled after the war. The president and prime minister now holding a joint news conference to provide more information. Investigators responding to the attack at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township in Michigan, where a former Marine crashed a pickup into a Mormon church, shot into the building, and then set it ablaze during a Sunday service. Police fatally shot the man who killed 4 people and injured 8 more. On Wall Street, the Dow is ahead 29 points, the Nasdaq Composite adding 123. This is SRN News.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, everything you need and nothing.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillip Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillip Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Headlines for the week ahead. A dry week, and we desperately need some rain, and not too terrible on the humidity. I mean, not great, but okay. Total sunshine today with a high around 87. Fairly comfortable tonight with mostly clear skies, low in the mid-60s. More sun, 88 tomorrow. Then a little cooler by midweek. Low 80s on Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe even upper 50s on Thursday night. But unfortunately, dry for the week ahead, and we are slipping deeper and deeper into a drought. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix.
1819 News.
A member of the University of Alabama doctoral program for social work is defining himself as a queer anti-Zionist Muslim. Raheem Athour's doctoral research also explores the advancement of queer affirming psychoanalytic frameworks for social workers and therapists. Thaur is coming under scrutiny as of late for posting inappropriate comments about the death of Charlie Kirk. He also has reposted comments that praise the butcher of Khan Yunis, Yahya Sinwar, who is a Hamas terrorist who helped plan the October 7th attacks on Israel. Thaur approved of portraying Sinwar as an epic hero for his cause. Thaur also admitted in a 2023 article that he knows his open anti-Semitism will repel certain clients from seeking his services. The chairman of the College Republican Federation of Alabama, Riley McCardle, along with U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville, have both called on the University of Alabama to terminate any employee found to make public comments that mock Charlie Kirk and his public assassination. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness license plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
The prestigious Jacksonville State University band is losing its longtime leader. Kenneth Bodiford will be retiring from that position this coming January 1st. Bodiford joined the JSU Marching Southerners as their band director back in 1994, building that band up from 120 members to 500 and traveling to various performances across the world. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Want that ride that is fun, affordable, and street legal? Check out ETG Outdoors in Montgomery. They have huge discounts on electric golf carts with many brand new units under 10 grand. New and used inventory, financing available, and they service what they sell. ETG Outdoors even provides lithium battery conversions and free delivery with purchase. Whether it's for the neighborhood, the farm, or just fun, ETG Outdoors, 7006 Vaughn Road, or online at etgoutdoors.com. Cruise smarter, drive electric. ETG Outdoors. Your ride to freedom starts here.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Mark. Welcome back to the program. Special segment here that my good friend Troy Carrico helped put together. We have joining us on the stream here, we have retired Lieutenant Colonel David Bull Gerfen, a prior enlisted combat veteran of the Gulf War, Afghanistan, and Iraq, and now the CEO of United American Patriots. Bull and other Marines have been leading the national effort to ensure that Major Capers receives the Medal of Honor for his extraordinary heroism, correcting a decades-old injustice and honoring all who fought in Vietnam. Bull is joining us here on the stream, and I would appreciate you being here today, sir. Thank you. Oh, I think here we have you muted there. I think we got you unmuted now.
Say again.
Yeah, I think he's still muted there a little bit.
Listen, he's a Marine, so they're crayon eaters, and you have to go really slow with them. Okay.
We're trying to get the technical difficulties all worked out here. There we go. I think we could. I think we've got some sound.
All right.
Hey, Bull.
There we go. I think we had the crayon box in the way.
Appreciate you joining us, sir.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you so much for having us on.
And, of course, joining us on the phones, we have Major James Capers Jr., a legendary prior enlisted retired Force Recon Marine who served with distinction in Vietnam. He led some of the most dangerous missions deep behind enemy lines, saved countless lives, and became one of the most highly decorated Recon Marines in the Corps' history. At 88 years old, Major Capers continues to inspire generations with his courage, leadership, and humility. He joins us now over the phone. Major Capers, wonderful to have you on the show, sir.
Hey, thank you. Real pleasure.
So I almost want to begin, well, at the beginning. And so I have a question for you, Major. What first inspired you to join the Marine Corps, and what did it mean to you as a young man to become a Marine?
Well, after high school, I saw a lot of Marines in those magnificent dress blue uniforms, and it inspired me to take a look at it. So I see the recruiters, and he convinced me. And before I knew it, I was at Paris Island, one of the most famous boot camps in the Corps. And when I got there, I graduated right away because they wore me out, but I did real well, graduated, and came home with PFC, and the rest is history.
Now, you served both as an enlisted Marine to the rank of Staff Sergeant and then received a battlefield commission to Second Lieutenant and eventually retired.
Unheard of, dude.
As Major.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I got a battlefield commission because all the officers in the first 3 months were killed or wounded. And so my colonel called me in and took off my Staff Sergeant Chevron and made me a Second Lieutenant. I never went to the officers' training. You know, I had to get it done. Someone had to be an officer for those wonderful Marines. So I took the challenge. And after the war, I kept my commission and retired to the rank of Major.
What are some of the lessons you carry with you from your combat experience in Vietnam through your career and perhaps carry with you to this day?
Yeah, well, the things that you take away mostly is take care of your troops. If you take care of your troops, they'll take care of you. Today, there's only 3 of us still left alive. We have a young man named Stanton lives in Louisiana, and one of my point men who survived, he lives in Virginia. And we talk all the time. We're the only 3 survivors of that bloody organization that took place in 1966 and 1967. In 1967, I spent a year in the hospital up in Bethesda, Maryland. I had to learn to walk again and become a human being again, but I survived it.
Amen that you survived it. Amen.
Major Capers, this is Troy Carrico, Major Troy Carrico, retired Army Ranger. I have the utmost respect for your Force Recon Devil Dogs. Worked with you guys in AFG and IZ, so hua and hoorah to you. Thank you for your time today, brother.
Thank you.
Welcome home, too. Welcome home, as they say. Just real fast, I try to tell people how your story. Listen, you are the pantheon in my mind of alpha type warriors that are. I mean, and I'm giving you. I'm just telling you. This Fulak, that battle in Fulak, is just something that Hollywood would love to talk about, but they couldn't even fathom it and make it up. Tell us a little bit about Fulak, what was going on, set the stage for us on that fateful day.
Yeah, Fulak was the last 5 days in Vietnam. Well, not in Vietnam. I spent some time in the hospital there. So we got there, and my job was to go into Fulak and to kill what was there, enemy soldiers. And they dropped us in by helicopter, and we started moving toward the regiment that I was going to assassinate, or eliminate. And I had to go through cemetery. I stayed there for a little while because the stones there would protect my troops and my war dog from any rifle shots or artillery that was coming in. I left the cemetery and moved on toward the kill zone. We had to go through a river, and I took my war dog named King with us, and we ran into some of the enemy soldiers, and I shot the first 3. Then we moved on, and it was sort of a bloody encounter. My war dog King killed 2, and it's kind of vicious to kill them, but that's what he was trained to do.
That's right.
And he was a large wood dog, and he jumped on one and ripped his throat out, and the other he killed his groin. And I shot 3 with my M16. Then they came in from the right, and my other point man got shot, and explosions went off, and my other point man was wounded. My war dog was killed, and I was wounded. But my M79 man fell back on me, and I reached around him to pull off his dog tags because I thought he was dead. He was bleeding through his mouth and his nose. And I told him, "I'm going to get you out of here, son." And he said, "Lieutenant, I'm all right. Just give me a rifle. I can still fight." He was an M79 man. He ran out of ammunition, but he told me he could still fight. Probably one of the bravest things I've ever heard. He survived.
That's awesome.
And the whole team was wounded, and they rose. And now we had to fight our way to the helicopter who had called in for an extraction because we could no longer fight as an effective team. And the helicopter landed. It was trying to land. They were firing at the helicopter. So we were trying to get to the drop zone, and we made it there. And I got all of my men on the helicopter and the body of my war dog King, who was dead. And the chopper tried to go airborne, I was still on the ground because they were still shooting at the aircraft, and I had to try to eliminate them. I was running out of ammunition, but I felt like I'll stay behind. This is not heroics. That I need to get my troops home. They're all wounded. They're heroes now. So I stayed behind and fired and killed as many as I could before they destroyed the helicopter. The helicopter took off. I was still on the ground, and the crew chief reached out and grabbed me and pulled me on. Saved my life. And the helicopter went airborne and took off and flew from the battle zone to the hospital. And from there, we all survived. They're all gone now, except the three of us. I spent a year in a hospital in Bethesda, Maryland. But the Battle of Fulak was one that was a bloody battle.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you need any more than that.
Here's what I would say to you. Again, what you need to understand, Joey, is he was facing a regiment. Now, a regiment is bigger than a company, bigger than a battalion in the military. This is just shy of 1,000 men, anywhere from 550 to 750, depending on their strength. This is a small team of long-range reconnaissance patrol, movement to contact, and they get ambushed. Sir, Major, I hold you in the highest regard. I've never met you, but my dad did 2 tours in Vietnam. He was with the 11th ACR, Black Horses in the Army. Listen, you are an epitome to, doesn't matter what service branch we're from, Major. If you're a warrior and you are built for the tip of the spear, you are one of my guide-ons now. And so honored to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Where do we find men like this, Bull? Where do we find men like this? I guess Bishopville, South Carolina.
That's true. And Earl is my son. Glad to have him with me.
All right, brother. That's good.
Well, and I do want to bring you in on this, Bull. And in particular, we know other Marines performed nearly identical acts of valor, received the Medal of Honor. Why was Major Capers initially only awarded the Bronze Star for valor?
That's a great question. And first of all, the Major did a great job summarizing his actions there. What most people don't know is that he condensed 4 days into all these actions. And the final day, when he realized, he had an 8-man reconnaissance team that was told to lead this attack, which was an inappropriate use of the Force Reconnaissance Marines, he followed orders. And he turned to his Marines and said, "Hey, we're going into hell. If anybody you don't want to follow, that's fine. I've got to follow orders." And everyone's Marines were like, "We'll follow you to hell and back." And that's exactly what happened. And that's where they hit this massive ambush. And again, I think, Major Capers is extremely humble. And I think he really talked about that when they were ambushed and his dog was killed and every one of his Marines were wounded. His abdomen was ripped open. His legs were shredded. And he pushed the corpsman off. He goes, "No, I'm fine." And he allowed his Marines to extract while he attacked the enemy. And his final actions were at the helicopter. Not only did he attack the enemy that had now re-engaged, but he ran out of 5.56 with his M16, drew out his pistol, and started killing people with his pistol. So this is a close combat action. And he's right. The crew chief physically had to restrain him on the helicopter so they could get out. He was willing to sacrifice his life for his Marines. So when we look at this, say, well, why didn't he receive the Medal of Honor? Because obviously he was deserving. Well, the commanding general met with all of his wounded Marines and him and had never heard of anything so heroic. And he told Major Capers in front of his Marines that we're going to get you the Medal of Honor. Unfortunately, that general, Major General Bruno Hochmuth, the commanding general of 3rd Marine Division, ended up dying in a helicopter crash. And so with him, that award was lost. Major Capers' officer in charge at the time, Captain Mooney, had only just joined the unit 3 days prior, wasn't at the Battle of Fulak, wasn't aware of Major Capers' heroism, and wasn't aware of the general's intent. And so he just provided the typical or routine end of tour Bronze Star with Valor Award. And that's what created all of the administrative challenges that have plagued this issue for the past 58 years.
So where are we on the process here of getting this done? Because I think, to me, especially someone who didn't serve, I'm just hearing the stories I've been hearing from Troy in particular over the last month or so. Like this, the merit of it is obvious. So, like, how do we get through the bureaucracy?
So great question. So it's faced multiple material procedural errors. The first time that the inappropriate award was awarded, the second time it was evaluated for an upgrade, and the upgrade board just looked at it as an upgrade from an end of tour award. And the highest you can give for an end of tour award is the Silver Star, and that's what they awarded him. And the commandant at the time has now come back and said, yeah, that was a mistake. He should have gone in front of a full Medal of Honor review board, and that never happened. So when all of a sudden you had congressmen and others saying, hold on a second, there was a mistake made, the bureaucrats within the Pentagon said, well, there's no new information, so there's nothing we can do. And Secretary Del Toro actually wrote a letter to that where they compared what was new witness statements, which went into more detail with the original witness statements. And they said, unless you have something new, we're not even considering this. And it's not about new information. All of the information is there. And there's no question. Anybody who's looked at the witness statements, as I have, and retired generals have, active duty general, everybody who's seen this, Sergeant Major Battaglia, the second senior enlisted advisor to the Joint Chiefs of Staff, he reviewed this, and he got 132 other senior enlisted advisors to review this. Every one of them, many of whom who had been in combat, who have received Valor Awards, who've sat on award boards. They said, this man deserves the Medal of Honor. Yet the bureaucrats are holding to, well, we need more. And there's no more necessary. So this has now been elevated through Congress. It's been elevated to the President of the United States. It's been elevated to the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. They're all reviewing this, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And we're 100% confident with the President and the Secretary of War on top of this. Major Capers will receive the Medal of Honor, and we're pushing for him to receive it on 10 November of this year, which will be the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps.
Right on.
Here. Now, for people out there listening, whether veterans or civilians, is there any way they can help support this effort?
Thank you for asking. Absolutely. Get a hold of your congressman, get a hold of your senators, write letters to the Secretary of War, to the President. Let them know you support Major James Capers receiving the Medal of Honor he deserves. We're not asking for anything that anybody doesn't deserve or that he didn't earn. We're just saying, let's do this right. Let's correct this injustice and recognize an American hero.
Well, and Major Capers, for your information, I'm currently living with my 89-year-old grandfather, who's a retired lieutenant colonel from the United States Air Force, served in Vietnam, I believe in Thailand. And he has described to me that when he came back from his time, it wasn't exactly a lot of love from a lot of folks in this nation. And I've talked to him many, many times over the change. Have you noticed a change in, let's say, the respect for our service members from, how it was in that era?
Yeah, these young men, young heroes coming home today, they're recognized as heroes. I was in Atlanta a few years ago, and some of the troops was coming home, and there were a group of civilians there applauding them when they got off the planes. It's been a change. How do you go? It's been a change in the attitude when I come home. When I came home from Alaska, and it was 10 degrees below zero, and I came through another point. I don't remember where it was this time, but yeah, back in Alaska, they took us off the airplane to review, and I was lying out in the snow. It was still snowing, and this person came over to me. I was bleeding on the tarmac, and he stood over me and kissed in my face.
Oh.
That was my welcome home. I'm lying there. I was conscious, but I was full of morphine.
Yeah.
And just hoping I could make it home to the hospital. And this person, which I thought I was going to try to remember, but God doesn't work that way.
No, you're right.
I wouldn't know who he is today, but the problem is that how can someone be so cruel when an American Marine comes home from fighting a year in combat and mostly in the jungles. And I'm lying there wounded, bleeding on the sidewalk or on the tarmac. He comes over, he stood over me and looked at me and pissed in my face. And that was my welcome home.
That's why I said welcome home, brother, because that's the call word to our Vietnam vets, that they didn't get that. My dad didn't get it. He didn't get it. A lot of them didn't get it, but we appreciate them because they're the finest generation now around in my book. So,
well, and if y'all get this done by November 10th, is this in a way also a way to move the ball on everybody who served in that era?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And that's where this is beyond one warrior. Obviously, Capers is deserving, but there were many warriors that weren't recognized. And there's many warriors where we don't have the documentation, the witness statements, the commander's endorsements. All of this we have for Major Capers. We don't have that for other warriors, unfortunately, who are very deserving. And this is at least recognizing one on behalf of all. And it also sends a message to all of our warriors that when you do something heroic, you will be recognized. And if there's an issue with the bureaucracy or policies, that your fellow warriors are going to stand by your side and make sure that you're recognized.
Troy, do you have any questions?
No, just again, I hold this gentleman in the highest. I do have a question for you. Is it true you were an NBA referee?
I'm sorry, that's for me?
Yes, Sergeant. Yes, Major Capers. I heard from intel source that you were a referee in the NBA.
No, that is not correct.
Well, there is a news article.
Oh,
I'll have to correct him then. Darn it. I got bad intel, Bull. I looked there. It said Army Intel. It's Army Intel, Sergeant. I mean, Major Brian Battaglia said I deserve to eat crayons like the rest of you. I guess I might as well start doing it.
That's amusing.
We love, brother. We love you. Hey, you know what? We just thank you, Father. I just thank you, Father, for having time together, fellowship. It's just you will be vindicated, and you will get what's, I believe, the most honorable thing that you could ever get. And for the other Marines and the other operators out there like Rangers and Parajump Rescue guys, you are the epitome. You are the standard that we achieve. So,
Well,
thank you.
I appreciate the time. I really do.
Thanks,
I appreciate y'all working on behalf of Major Capers to get this done. Appreciate y'all telling me the story. And just, sir, I almost have like one final question, Major Capers, of like,
yeah, go ahead.
Number one, where does that sort of like that warrior ethos, that sense you think come from? And especially as you reflect back, you kind of look at this nation, the good, the bad, and the ugly. What message do you have to share about this country, about America?
Well, it's the greatest country I've ever seen. I've been to most countries in the world as a young man. I spent 12 years overseas. I fought 2 wars. I have 19 holes that I bled from. Both my legs were broken. I'm 88 years old now, and this country has given me probably more than I deserve, because a good part of that time, I was not a very good person. I went to war, and I killed human beings in the most savage way you can imagine, because my job was to save my men. They would belong to me. They were my sons. They saved my life, and I sacrificed mine for them. So this country is the greatest country in the world. We produce some of the greatest military soldiers and rangers and special forces, young SEALs that I've worked with. I'm grateful. I have no complaints.
Hey, Major Capers, could I ask you, your faith had to help you through a lot of this. I would imagine your belief in your maker and God and this great Christendom. Is that a correct assumption on my part?
That is very correct.
Okay.
I'm alive today because of that faith.
By the grace of God, brother. Yep, by the grace of God.
Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate y'all's time. And thank you, Bull, and the whole team working on behalf of Major Capers. And Major Capers, thank you for for joining us,
Thank
and I want to see this done.
Yes,
by the 250th.
I will
birthday.
I will keep his light burning here on this show, so you know that. I'll keep you updated.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Major.
Thank you.
All right. God bless you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Good, Bull.
God bless, Bull. Again, folks, that
what I mean. Hey, listen, it's just what a great American. I mean, where do we find men like this?
Right, and I want to see this done, because when I hear that, and I didn't know about that when he came back.
Oh yeah, I didn't either.
I can't imagine.
My dad told me that when he was in San Francisco coming back from Singapore, when they transferred in, he had his duffel bag and his uniform on, and people were spitting on him from the other side of the fence coming in. You know, just baby killers and all that. So
yeah, well, appreciate you setting that up.
Thank you. No, I appreciate you taking the time to honor him and do it, because you've been very good to us, to the veteran community and to the military.
I look forward to the day when I see those national headlines showing him honored with the Medal of Honor.
Why he's still alive, please, Father.
We got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Here at Adams Drugs, we let our customers do the talking. I'm here with Ronnie Taunton, who was a longtime customer of Adams Drugs, moved away for 3 years, and came back to town recently. Ronnie, what did you do for another pharmacy when you moved out of town?
When we moved to Fairhope, we were looking for a local. We did not want to go to a big box store. And we did find one, but the service was not up to par. Adams Drug really spoiled us.
What was it like to come back to Adams Drugs again?
It was very easy. We picked up the phone when we got back, came up to Prattville and called the branch there in Prattville, and they took that phone call and did the rest of it. We didn't have to do a thing. It was very simple. We're glad to be back with them. They're so efficient and customer service oriented.
Come in to any of our 12 Adams Drugs locations. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net to find the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Summer is ending, but the deals are hot at Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Just $29 service fee for all your AC and plumbing needs. Better call Clark today. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Headlines for the week ahead. A dry week, and we desperately need some rain, and not too terrible on the humidity. I mean, not great, but okay. Total sunshine today with a high around 87. Fairly comfortable tonight with mostly clear skies, low in the mid-60s. More sun, 88 tomorrow. Then a little cooler by midweek. Low 80s on Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe even upper 50s on Thursday night. But unfortunately, dry for the week ahead, and we are slipping deeper and deeper into a drought. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me.
That was incredible, wasn't it? Wasn't that just incredible, man?
Oh, it's great hearing from the man himself. And
I hear we have another great American on the line.
Yeah, Sergeant Major Brian Battaglia joining us. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Doing just fine. I hope you all had a great interview with Major Capers.
Man, where do we find men like that, Sergeant Major? Where do we find? I guess over there in Bishopville, South Carolina, is where they're at. But I'll tell you what a great American.
Yeah, he's all made us certainly better men.
Yeah,
and glad he's on our team, right?
Cool. Yeah, you too. We're glad we have you. I can't tell you how rewarding it's been for me to put some of my effort into this with writing and other stuff. It reminds me of what my dad said, welcome home, brother. That's the way they say it, Joey. And it's because things were different for them and you never hear them complain. They just go.
And when you heard him just say it, this is the greatest country in the world.
It's incredible, man.
Yeah. After all he's been through to still remain completely loyal to his country and his core is just super patriotic. And I recently remember him on Fox News, and the lady had asked him just before they exited the interview, if you have any advice for the youth of our country, what would it be? And he said, serve your country.
Amen.
And it was those three words, and it was pretty powerful, and it I think inevitably it should replace the old Uncle Sam, we need you sort of slogan. And because service in the country is really lacking. But I wanted to come on and not with them two on the radio with you, but rather after, so I wouldn't steal any of their time and say, this should have been done a long time ago. And we've obviously made some errors in the system and allowed flaws in the system to guide and direct and restrict and limit superior performance in combat. And Major Capers has, I don't want to use the word punished, but he's been underserved because of that.
Yeah.
Both military leadership and political leadership could have taken care of this moons ago. And, you would think if you all have seen that comparison chart,
man, it's incredible.
It's a no-brainer. Yeah. It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, you did. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to toot his horn for a minute because he's very humble. This guy's the most humble of all. You're just a poor soldier for Christ, as I say. He is led the charge, getting the letter to the POTUS, getting all these people on board. He has led the charge, putting this incredible visual together that shows that you don't need new information.
Right.
The information provided is what you need right there, and there it is. So Outstanding work, Sergeant Major.
Thank you for doing that, Brian.
Yeah, and this was Bull. That's all Bull's work. He
Oh
he is,
gosh, we don't give Bull. This is for you. You did this, right?
Yeah.
I'm joking. Bull's
Anyway, I wanted to say that every Congressional Medal of Honor obviously needs to go through Congress, especially if it passed that 5-year mark.
Yep.
And so I'm just so happy that you two have raised awareness with this. Troy with the article, Joey for putting this on the airwaves and allowing it to get the attention that it needs, specifically for Senator Tuberville, Senator Britt, and our politicians as well. It's one of the first states in the country that I have seen that's really raised it to this level publicly in the media, and y'all are to be commended for that.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate
you really are.
It's an honor to do it. It's just when you
it's just unfortunate that our politicians have not fully got behind this, and they can't or have yet not understood that Major Capers he's not a Republican hero, he's not a Marine hero, he's not a black hero nor a Democrat hero, he's an American hero. And all of them politicians need to drop that political shit and say this is all about America, and put their party aside and vote on that amendment in the NDAA to say we're going to waive this 5 years here, Mr. President. Put this ribbon, put this medal around this guy's neck.
Yeah,
here.
Cool.
Well, I'm looking forward to November the 10th, if not before then, to watch this.
Yes,
absolutely, Joey. I pray that all comes true as well.
How you been feeling?
Well, I'm hanging in there, but every time I start talking about this, I'll get a little fired up. I'm ready to go down to the barbershop, get a haircut, come out of retirement, and go fight, man.
Listen, man, you're a warrior. I'll tell you, but take it easy. That was major surgery he had on his back. I think I told you he had the whole. What was it?
Well,
what was it?
It paled in kind to the type of injury that Major Capers had, and continued to fight and lead. Just incredible.
Yeah.
And so anyway, thanks for having me on. I didn't want to steal any time from him and you all, because that's quality time. But come on, at least express that our politicians still have a play in this, and they can end this sooner than we think.
Well, appreciate it, Brian. Really,
Major,
thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, brother.
All the best to you. All right, take care.
Yep.
Let's go to Wetumpka Jeff. Hey, Wetumpka Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, Joey, how y'all doing today?
Good. How are you, Jeff?
I was listening to y'all about the Vietnam thing. I got a friend of mine. He's passed on now, but he served in Vietnam. He told the same thing about when he came home. They spit in his face. They called him baby killer.
Yep.
But our heroes should not be treated like that. And the people who refuse to serve should not be allowed to do that. But Steve said one time, he says, I fought
for their freedom. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's the kind of man he was. Yeah.
Yeah. And he served 2 tours. He fought. He told this story so many times. This is the story he told. He fought at the Battle of Pleiku.
Yep. I know exactly where it was at.
It changed hands 11 times in one day.
Yep. Sure did.
I mean, and he was wounded. I think he was wounded twice. He got the heroism.
Yep.
Yeah. And because he went back out for some of his people, even though they were dead, he went back out and brought them back in.
Yep.
And I mean, he was a good man.
What was his name?
And Stevenson, Ronnie Moncrief.
Ronnie Stevenson. All right. Well, Moncrief. All right. Well, we will remember him.
Stevenson R. Moncrief.
Yeah. He was in the Army too. He was probably with, I'm guessing, 9th. Was it the 9th? Let me check. I think that was 9th Infantry Division. That was there. Pleiku. My dad was at Cu Chi, which is right near there. Yeah, it was 9th. Yeah. Rolling Thunder, part of it. Yeah, that was it was a big battle. It was a very big battle. It was a regiment side, 2 regiments against an Army battalion. So yeah, well, God bless him. And he left a mark on you, didn't he?
He did.
Well, I appreciate the call, Jeff. And I appreciate you adding to this.
Thank you for your patriotism, brother.
Yeah, I heard many a story of similar things of
well,
what it was like coming back during the
Let's
Vietnam
think
era.
about that. Why was that? What was going on in the 60s? Everything that's wrong today was hatched by the hippies. Never trust a hippie, my dad told me.
You ever
And
seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh yeah,
it's a great. The hippies get it.
The
movie.
hippies get it. Yeah, they get it. They get it coming.
Hey, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting, and their River Region Contracting. Well, they can help you with that roof of yours.
Yes,
Whether it's an asphalt shingle roof or a metal roof, both can have unique issues that crop up, and they might not be obvious to the layman, to the unprofessional naked eye.
Do you even know what you're looking for?
No. Like, number one, it's dangerous for you to even climb up on the roof.
Don't go up
Number
there.
two, you get up there, what are you actually looking for?
Then how are you going to get down?
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem. How are you going to get down? And so here's the thing. Don't just wait and procrastinate. And honestly, doing it yourself, unless you're a professional, I highly suggest don't do that. Instead, go with the true professionals there at River Region Contracting. And here's the great news. Their inspections are free.
It's free.
And they'll write up an estimate for free if they find an issue. But if they come out and inspect, say you're good, you're golden, you don't owe them anything. And say they do find that issue, especially great when they find it early. And so they'll write up that estimate for free, fix the job, do it right on time, and their insurance specialist so they can walk you through the claims process and make it a swift and easy experience. There's a reason folks have been calling them the premier roofing contractor here in the River Region. Again, that's River Region Contracting, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. So Eric Adams has dropped out. That's
I saw that.
Sliwa.
Yeah, Sliwa. Yeah.
Curtis. I
Sliwa.
like that guy. I've seen him
He's
on many
awesome.
appearances,
He's awesome.
but and he's always running for stuff.
Yeah, he's never winning anything, I see.
Yeah, it's just not enough of the community there in New York. But he also he comes across as a leader. I will say.
Yeah, he cares about the city, obviously. Yeah.
What is with the beret he wears? I don't even know what that
so
is.
they're called the Guardian Angels. Okay, and they took the cue from Army Airborne, wearing it like an angel, like an ear. It's just symbolic. It's a esprit de corps thing. It's so people recognize that they're vigilantes, if you will.
Okay, that's fair.
It's
we need a little bit of that in New York.
Yeah,
every once in a while. How about this? Let's go ahead and hit an early final break.
Let's do that.
And I didn't catch any of the Netanyahu stuff because we were doing our interview.
I'm trying to look up to see
but
what was
the
said.
long and short seems to be he's agreeing publicly with the president. We'll see if he gets it
he's
done.
behind it 100%. He said the leaders of the Gulf Arab countries, he said, were instrumental in helping bring us all together. So
maybe Trump's wild, crazy idea hatched up in his first term will come to fruition this term.
Well, or flipping the booger on Hamas and seeing what they do with it. We'll see.
We shall see, folks. But given you've got buy-in from every major Gulf Arab leader and even other states.
Yeah, they're going to be enormous pressure.
The pressure is quite real. Anyway, we'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, folks. This is Rick Clark with Clark Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. I'd like to take just a minute to talk to you about our experience with Blue Water Broadcasting. One of the hot topics in our staff meetings is spending advertising dollars. If your company or firm is anything like Clark Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, those dollars are limited, so you have to spend them wisely. That's why we choose Blue Water Broadcasting. Our marketing analysis has proven consistently that spending advertising dollars with Blue Water Broadcasting has contributed significantly to our bottom line. And for that, Clark Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is truly grateful. So, if you want to spend your advertising dollars wisely, choose Blue Water Broadcasting and see the difference.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River Region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Do you have real estate problems? Whether you're facing foreclosure, inherited a property, or have costly repairs, we understand. At Rapid Fire Homebuyers, we're here to help. Any condition, any situation, we'll give you an honest cash offer for your home so you can move forward. Because when real estate problems cause you uncertainty, you deserve a solution you can trust. Any condition, any situation, we're here to help. Give Rapid Fire Homebuyers a call today at 334-675-1000. That's 334-675-1000.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Let's go to the phone, shall we, and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
We're doing great. So, good news.
Oh.
Mark made it to church Sunday.
Wait, my silent supervisor went to church?
He did. Dad and Mom brought him with them and his mama, and he sat beside me and Angie. I think that he just wanted to meet Angie. That's all it was.
Yeah, and I suspect that of him. But that's great that he think he's going to come back.
I hope so, because I got to learn all about Star Wars and Batman before the service started. Stuff I never knew.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I'm like, okay, I can catch up on Batman because I don't do a good job of keeping up with that. And if Mark comes back, I'll get to learn even more about Batman. So, Mark, this Sunday, I don't know if I'll be here because Emma Ruth is expecting that baby any day now. And she's in Blue Ridge, and when we get that call, we're gone. We're out of here for 4 days.
As it should be.
But now, on the other hand, everybody else is working. We have a lot of good sales going on. Vinyl plank, ceramic tile, carpet. The list goes on and on. If y'all need a floor, call us at 285-8117, and they'll come running. Give you that free measurement. Next thing you know, you got a floor down.
Just that simple, folks. And that number again, 285-8117. When you call them up, be sure to say, hey, I heard Ray Bowles on the radio at the Joey Clark Fella.
Guys, have a great day.
You
You
too,
have a
Ray.
good one, brother.
Let's go to line 2 and talk to Edward. Hey, Edward, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, guys. That was a really great interview you did with Major Bull, and I really hope that inspires me to physically write a letter to each of our senators and my representative to see if I can, add a little fuel to that fire for him being recognized.
Yeah,
absolutely. He deserves it, and he's deserved it 20, 30, 40
He deserved
years
it
ago.
twice over. Yeah. And the thing about it is letters like that do start to have their effect. So if any of the listeners out there want to, you can go to USMC Major James Capers, Capers, and you'll find all the bio, everything on him. And the story, the Battle of Fulak, will pin your ears back. Joey's read some of the excerpts of it. It was just unbelievable. So yeah, thank you for your
And his firsthand description of the events
It's perfect.
is
It was
just,
perfect. I mean,
it's harrowing in a way.
Yeah.
I wanted to sidetrack on something real quick. Over the weekend, I took the opportunity, as I may have stated before, I knew who Mr. Kirk was and his turning point, but had never really followed him or anything. So I wound up spending the entire weekend watching hours of his college program, also some debates where he went over to the UK to some of the colleges there. Really a phenomenal individual. Won't say I agreed with everything, if you're a rational thinking person, I don't think you're always going to agree with everything, but he was always respectful. I mean, I've been specifically trying to look for what the left is screaming about, and I just can't take it. But what I was going to share that I discovered over the weekend that was the most fascinating and heart lifting for me is that he was a fellow Sabbath observer.
Oh, wow.
And the Sabbath is something that I think is a really, really beautiful thing to observe without going into religious aspects of it. But it's just a great day for rest. And I learned that he also has a book that'll be coming out, I believe, in November. So I pre-ordered that on Amazon because I'm very interested to listen. But it's always a joy to my heart when I hear professing Christians saying that they enjoy resting on the Sabbath day as well, because again, it's part of our heritage and just a beautiful time to set aside just for unplugging, concentrating on either reading your scripture, going out to nature, being with your family, just doing something uplifting, and that's not to degrade from church in any kind of way. That's two very, very different things. But I just thought that was really fascinating to learn that and him give some explanation on why he had done it. So it's, yeah, he was more than a decent man, and I'm understanding a lot more now of so much pain in the Christian community, and especially among those who are very big proponents of free speech and the power of ideas and actual debating. He definitely was unique for our times. I don't know if we'll ever see somebody else like that again.
I think you're right. But we can pray for another. But I think you're right. Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Edward.
Edward, great call
Yes,
as
sir.
always. Thanks, sir.
Y'all have a good one.
You too, buddy.
Again, 272-9228 if you want to get your shots in or your calls in the last few closing moments. There was a classic, just as a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana clip. There's not much context to this clip. It's about 30 seconds.
Okay, what we got here?
But at one point, he is just straight up as he's interviewing Russ Vought, head of OMB, who helped implement a lot of the Doge cuts.
Right.
He just gets flabbergasted, I think is the word for Senator Kennedy. If not just outright bumfuzzled. Like, is this really what we're talking about here? This cattywampus crap?
Cattywampus. And
Let's
Uganda.
Let's listen to Senator Kennedy do it only the way he can.
You're getting rid of $5.5 million to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex advocacy in Uganda, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
I can't believe we're arguing about this. I can't believe we're arguing about this.
What do I say? He says.
Pep Ford, we're not denying life-saving care to anybody, are we?
No, and $10 billion would remain for that funding.
He's so
I love
frustrated.
it. He's so theatrical.
I got to hear that at the beginning of that again.
You're getting rid of $5.5 million to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex advocacy in Uganda, aren't you?
Uganda.
I can't believe we're arguing about this.
I love it.
I can't believe we're arguing about this.
But we are.
This is enough for me to quit. You make me quit. He said.
Well, and that guy he was talking to, it might very well be if you get that big old shutdown that you're giving teeth back to the Doge.
Right. Yeah.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
I took it as the director was a setup guy with this. That he was in agreement with that. That's why he said, no, we're not giving that money to them.
Right.
But we're keeping.
Oh yeah, he is. No,
he's part of the team. Yeah,
he's definitely.
They're just playing. They're playing good cop, bad cop kind of thing.
But last week, the White House Budget Office instructed federal agencies to prepare reduction in force plans for mass firings during a possible government shutdown, specifically targeting employees who work for programs that are not legally required to continue. Yeah, seriously, like you want to.
This is a plan. I think that they hope that the Democrats take the bait and they keep running their mouths about how they're going to shut down the government.
Because every time a government shutdown happens, it is at the discretion of the executive.
That's
exactly which is, I guess, the president.
It is.
And his administration.
Sure.
It's at the discretion of the executive to define what is essential and non-essential work for the federal government.
And oh, by the way, while that essential work's going on behind the scenes, they can get things done that are not going to be blocked.
And in some years it was essential was very broadly defined. They're like almost everybody,
or it could just
not all y'all. Y'all be furloughed, you'll get paid later. But like generally speaking, like most people are essential. Then it could be defined more narrowly. It could be defined that like most of y'all ain't essential.
Well, most agencies I've worked for would say, well, these people are essential. The IT people, no. Are they really essential? Is the country going to suffer for a couple of weeks if you're out? No, then get out of here.
And then we were hearing from Edward there. I don't know if you saw Erica Kirk saying it's almost like Charlie knew what was about to happen because they had a book ready to go, like a movie ready to go, literally speeches after speeches, like a whole game plan for the midterm elections laid out and already built.
He was a vessel, dude.
There's new content created by Charlie Kirk that will be coming out.
Yeah, he's a vessel. He was a vessel. He was a tool that God used. A cup built to spill, but was glorious in all of it he did. So.
Well, and I got to say, what a time to be inspired to read the scriptures.
Man,
because unlike any other time in human history, what's available now, there's so much available. Maybe it could be confusing. But if you have discernment, there's so much, there's no excuse.
AI cannot give you the satisfaction that the spirit can.
There's no excuse.
Agreed, brother.
No, what AI is great is like, assemble your theologians and let them argue it out. Like, that is kind of fun. Be like I want you to mimic Martin Luther and or Erasmus of Rotterdam arguing with each other.
Or Kierkegaard, Sergeant Kierkegaard.
Anyway, I appreciate your time today, man.
I appreciate your time, brother.
Not as much as I appreciate yours.
That's not true. I appreciate. I wrote something about you. You know,
Yeah,
I
that's
love you
true.
more than you love me. It's
You're
okay.
making me blush.
I
bro.
love you, brother. Man, you're one of my
love you
you're one of my favorite people, and I mean that. And Robin will tell you, I don't like people like
Yeah,
Eddie.
I don't either.
tried-
It's
I know
working
you don't,
out.
but it's working out for us.
It's
man.
working out. Well,
All
good
right,
seeing you.
brother.
Y'all stay tuned. Greg Budell, he's next.
Good stuff.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy,